It's dedication day here at Campbellsville University. Matt Payton and the Hall of Famer Benji Kelly here with you as the Tigers, and more importantly today, Lady Tigers, get ready to dedicate the floor here at the Powell Athletic Center. It will forever be known as Donna Wise Court. The ceremony comes your way here in about 15 minutes or so. Our pregame coverage starting early. For those of you following along on our television channels or our streaming outlets, thank you for joining us. It is a monumental day, Benji Kelly. A lot of former Lady Tigers back on campus, a lot of excitement around the program, and it should be a fun one here in the Powell.
We had a great ceremony kind of informal get-together this morning with Coach Wise and a lot of her former teammates. A little time for her to speak and kind of reminisce a little bit about the foundation that she built in Lady Tiger basketball. It was good. She actually had some players from all the way back in the 70s that were here and through her tenure in early 2000s. So it was a great time to see some old familiar faces, time to reminisce, talk about the old blue van that they traveled in, that they had to put tape on the windows to make sure that they could get from one place to the next. But you know, just a lot of great memories. And I cannot think of a better fitting dedication to name this court after Coach Wise and her legacy of 30-plus years, 661 all-time wins. And a stat that she threw out this morning, when teams come into the Powell to play Lady Tiger basketball against the Lady Tiger basketball has an over 900 winning percentage. That's impressive.
Yeah, it's tough to come in here to the Powell Athletic Center and defeat this Lady Tiger bunch. And Coach Donna Wise, back in 1974 began the program. That's when, you start the program, you come in, and there's no team.
No.
It's got to be a weird, eerie feeling. Most of the time nowadays you inherit at least something.
Yes.
And, she comes in and basically it's a clean slate. And I can't even begin to think about where do you even start and how do you piece that together. Not only did she do that, she carved out a Hall of Fame career, multiple Hall of Fames that she's honored in. And, it's kind of mind-boggling when you think about it.
It really is. And, she and I have had many conversations throughout the years just about the game of basketball. And one thing that I appreciate about her, as the game changed and evolved, so did she. And she continued that winning pedigree from day one and built the program the right way. And she, as she said this morning, never played the game.
Right.
Was a really a great golfer and still is a great golfer. But she credits Harley White, the longtime professor here at Campbellsville University, going to Dr. Davenport and saying, you need to hire this young lady to start the basketball program, and probably one of the best decisions ever made in the history of Campbellsville University.
We will step away here. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back and continue our pregame coverage. A special video package coming up shortly. We'll also have the entire dedication here at the Powell Center. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You're following Lady Tiger basketball on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Why is Jacob wanting to FaceTime?
I love you. Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
Campbellsville University is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and
Welcome back inside the Powell Athletic Center. Matt Payton, Benji Kelly here courtside as we get ready for our dedication. Donna Wise Court will forever be known here at Campbellsville University as the Lady Tigers are off into the locker room. The Bethel Wildcats visiting today from McKenzie, Tennessee. And maybe the most difficult part of a day like this, Benji, is to remember that you have a basketball game. And for Campbellsville's women's team, I know they want to try to keep this as close to normal and all of those things. They stopped by the reception this morning, but still some things that they've got to do and take care of business here this afternoon.
Yeah, it is as much as an exciting day as it is for the history of Lady Tiger basketball. You're exactly right. We do have a game that needs to be played. It was good to see the team there representing just for a few minutes to see some of the former players, the alumni, and they kind of stayed in their regular routine of game day. Got out of here early and got some shots up. I would not be surprised if they don't come out and maybe sit on the bench to see this historic occasion. But at the end of the day, we do have a game that we've got to play. The dedication will take place about 10-15 minutes, and then you've got 2 hours of basketball.
Lady Tigers up first, 2 p.m. the start time for that, as the Tigers will tip off at 4 o'clock. Both teams defeating Freed-Hardeman on Thursday night, so hopefully more Tiger and Lady Tiger wins to be had here in the Powell Center today. We will join now. We've got a special television package that was put together, and that's for Coach Donna Wise, and we want to go ahead and take an opportunity while we have a moment to play that for. We'll throw it to the TV package here as we recognize Donna Wise here today.
My mission was to develop a program of national prominence, and we're there, and we continue to stay there.
For 32 seasons, Donna Wise roamed the sidelines of the Powell Athletic Center as the head coach of Campbellsville University Lady Tiger basketball. Coach Wise's accolades are innumerable, but among them, she led her Lady Tiger basketball teams to 16 national tournament appearances, including 5 NAIA quarterfinal berths. She boasts 661 career wins over her 32-year career at the helm of the Lady Tiger program. That's good for an average of over 20 wins per season. In 2000, she was named to the NAIA National Basketball Hall of Fame as well as the CU Athletics Hall of Fame in 2008. Perhaps no one knows Coach Donna Wise professionally speaking quite like her former pupil who arrived in 1986 and was groomed by Donna Wise to be her successor, current Lady Tiger head coach Ginger High Colvin.
I think I'm more proud of it than she is, just because I know the work she put into it. We crawl on a charter bus sometimes and roll off to our games. When she coached, we crawled into a van and used athletic tape to tape up the windows. She did a little bit of everything. And she worked extremely hard to give Campbellsville University the name that just was ranked 1. Probably not where we are right now, but she worked hard to establish just the traditional name of Campbellsville University Lady Tigers, and I feel such a burden to keep going with what she started, and I'm just blessed to have ended up here, and I couldn't be prouder of her, and I couldn't be prouder for her family. It was a family affair. It wasn't just Donna Wise. It was George Wise, Donna Wise, Max Wise, and now Heather Wise. And what their family means to me, we are family. And just could not, I could not be. I burst when I think about it.
Today, we honor and say thank you to head coach Donna Wise for all of her contributions to Campbellsville University. But most importantly, we recognize her impact on our campus, in our community, and across the globe through the game of basketball. Congratulations, Donna Wise, and welcome to the new Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center.
Man, really good stuff there,
It
Benji
was,
Kelly.
absolutely.
days like today don't come around very often. It's really nice when you can bestow an honor quite like this on an individual. And I thought today in the reception earlier, some remarks that Coach made. It's about the wins, but it's not all about the wins. It's about the lives that you come in contact with and impact. And so true. And I think for her, she walked the walk, she talked the talk, all that stuff.
She did. And what's even more impressive about all of it, Matt, is that this was her classroom, this court. But not only that, she taught a full load as well as a faculty member. And I don't think a lot of people realize how difficult that is in itself, to teach a full load. She said a lot of times we were practicing at 7, 8 o'clock at night, or George and her mom was raising Max. And then, of course, when Max got a little older, he was here. He was a part of the program. So for her to build this program the way that she has, and for that tradition and legacy to continue on, how many programs have 1,000 wins? This Lady Tiger basketball team, we mentioned it the other night, just a special program. Really is.
We will step away. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, come back, and continue on with the ceremony here as we dedicate Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center. Stay with us. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
Come find solace at Saloma Baptist, an intergenerational church.
Here, the family of Christ extends far past the walls, and hospitality is held on high.
We are committed in our pursuit of discipling every nation and generation.
For more information on service times, visit salomabaptist.com or call 270-789-0082 and add our Facebook at Saloma Baptist Church.
Saloma Baptist, ministering to the community and to the world in the 21st century.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dwayne Norman, Senior Pastor of Campbellsville Baptist Church. You are invited to experience a caring community where the Word of God is taught and Christ is honored. We invest in the future of our children and youth by providing environments where they are loved, discipled, and taught the Bible, as well as our college ministry, which partners with students and faculty at Campbellsville University. Sunday school begins at 9:15, worship at 10:30. Come join us.
Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma. Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely. I think it's the kind of place that could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. If those lessons could be learned, this world could be a better place.
Citizens Bank and Trust Company serves the Taylor County area with 4 convenient locations. Online and mobile options make your banking experience even easier, with features such as digital wallet, Touch ID login with the mobile app, and online deposits. Mobile banking also gives you the online control of your Citizens Bank debit card. Take advantage of the no-charge ATM in the Student Commons on the campus of Campbellsville University. Citizens Bank and Trust Campbellsville. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Back to the Powell Athletic Center here as Campbellsville University gets set to take on Bethel University. The Wildcats visiting from McKenzie, Tennessee. The Lady Tigers up first as we get set for our dedication here of Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center. We are just about open, ready for the opening here, Benji Kelly, and in a moment we'll have Coach Wise and her crew come out. There are going to be some former players to unveil one side of the court, and a really neat moment for those guys that have made it back. Gals, in this case, I should say, as they will take part and unveil one portion of that, one side of that. And, you know, really cool. You think of the blood, the sweat, and the tears and all that goes into it to be able to come back and take part. I know we all have those coaches that made huge impacts in our lives, and to be present for a day like this has got to be pretty cool.
Well, it's very special, and it's probably long overdue. You think about, you know, once again, this is the legacy of Coach Wise, and, you know, 30-plus years, 600 wins, average of 20 a year. I mean, that's unheard of. And you're seeing a legacy. She has passed it on to Coach Colvin and Miranda, Denny Hootie, as we call her, who has continued that tradition and building quite a legacy in her own career. And as I said this morning, I think it's extremely fitting that today, when we do this dedication, the program that she started is ranked #1 in the nation. Pretty cool.
We will turn it over to the folks heading up this dedication here today. We'll go quiet and wait for remarks here.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Powell Athletic Center on the campus of Campbellsville University. Today's Mid-South Conference matchup will feature the Bethel Wildcats and your #1 ranked Campbellsville University Lady Tigers. At this time, I'd like to ask you to please direct your attention to the court as President Dr. H. Keith Spears will begin the presentation of our court dedication.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want everybody to say 2 words. Donna Wise. Okay, thank you very much. Now I want you to look straight up, and you're going to see a glass ceiling that no longer exists in this stadium, in this arena, because of this lady right here. Back in the 70s, she broke the glass ceiling in basketball and women's basketball, and having women on, and it happened right here at this place on this court. The foundation, the foundation that she laid for not only for those players, many of them that are in the room with us here today, that foundation has lived long and hard over these 46 years, and it will continue onward. The impact that she and her family have had here in the city and the city of Campbellsville, the county of Taylor, and this entire region still holds true today. The legacy will remain of the Donna Wise and her family here, folks. You will notice this come the 18th at Campbellsville High School. I believe it's at that high school, right? They're having the Hall of Fame ceremony. Make sure you're there because you wouldn't want to miss your own Hall of Fame ceremony. I have seen her in those Hall of Fame ceremonies, especially the one here in Kentucky. And now my official duty, after I've said all that, my official duty is to read for you and to you. Would you mind stepping right here? A resolution on behalf of the Campbellsville University Board of Trustees on October 26, 2021, approved the naming of the basketball court in Powell Athletic Center to be formally named the Donna Wise Court. This action is granted in recognition and gratitude for the 47 years of service as a faculty member in the human performance area and for 32 years of that service as the head women's basketball coach for the Lady Tigers basketball team. Congratulations, Coach Wise, from the board. Thank you. Front and center. You got to do it fast.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Donna Hedgepath.
Quickly, I just want to say a few words about Donna Wise. Coach, many of you know her and know the impact that she's had on so many folks. When I took this job as provost, as the first female in senior administration at Campbellsville University, she was one of the first folks in my office, and she was so encouraging. And we've had the most impactful conversations since then about grit and determination and what it takes to be strong and be a great leader. She's taught all those years. Not only she would coach multiple sports and taught a full teaching load and raised a family. And that's not an easy task. And I know that she's proud of her family who's with us today and have also had a great impact on us. I want to end with a quick story because, you know, we're both a Donna. And whenever we're in the same room, and they'll say, Donna, we'll both answer. And I'll say, well, this is Donna number 1, and I'm Donna number 2. And she's like, I'm not Donna number 1. And I'm like, As a legend and in awesomeness, you're Donna number 1. I'll always be Donna number 2 in her presence, and I love you, and congratulations.
Donna Wise served 32 seasons as head basketball coach and is ranked as the winningest coach in NAIA Division I basketball. On December 12, 2003, she became one of 12 female coaches nationally and Kentucky's only female coach to win 600 games. Her .724 winning percentage in the 944 games she coached ranks in the NAIA's top 10. In 23 seasons, Wise directed her teams to 20 or more wins, finishing with 661 wins with only 283 losses. Campbellsville ranked as the 5th winningest program and top 3 in the NAIA in trips to the national tournament, with 16 during her career. Campbellsville captured 8 consecutive conference or district championships during her tenure, and her teams made NAIA quarterfinal appearances 5 times. She also coached 23 players who accumulated 46 All-American awards. Wise has received 20 awards from various associations recognizing her as Coach of the Year. The NAIA inducted her into its Hall of Fame in 2000. Her alma mater, Eastern Kentucky University, recognized her with the Hall of Distinguished Alumni in 2005. She has also been Campbellsville's Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year and Educator of the Year, and the Business and Professional Women's Club recognized Wise with its Women of the Year Achievement Award. Coach Wise was inducted to the Campbellsville University Athletic Hall of Fame in 2008. Following retirement from coaching basketball in 2007, Donna has continued to serve Campbellsville University in the classroom as a professor and as the Human Performance Department head. Wise continually used her influence internationally, helping to build a basketball court in Zambia while providing instruction to AIDS orphans in local villages. In 2001, she conducted basketball clinics throughout Brazil. From the moment she took the court in November of 1975 at Campbellsville, Wiz, as she was fondly referred to as, has implemented her philosophy of commitment to accepting nothing but the best from oneself in life's journey of sharing God's love and purpose through basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the Wise family would like to unveil the Donna Wise Court. Other end of the court, we have Lady Tiger basketball alumni to unveil the Donna Wise Court. And now, let's welcome Donna Wise.
This on? First and foremost, I want to thank my Heavenly Father for the direction of my life. Every year, thank you. Every year I read a proverb to my players, and that proverb was, "What you are is God's gift to you. What you do with your life is your gift to God." And I want to thank the Board of Trustees, my administration, for such an honor today with naming the court after me. I know Harley White. I saw him come in, and I want to note him. He's back up there. Harley's the one that was instrumental in bringing me to Campbellsville. I think he thought because I was a pretty good golfer that I would make a good basketball coach. And I think little did he know that my only basketball experience was just out on the courts with the guys I played with in the neighborhood. I'm overwhelmed. I've received so many calls and texts from former players and managers, and I want to thank them and the girls that are back in the corner. Their successful careers are in large part to the commitment they made on this basketball court. I want to thank my community. Many of you are here today and have been here since the 70s when I first started coaching and throughout. Because part of my philosophy was in building a community's belief in your program and a following. And not only my community, but also my Campbellsville faculty. Some of you had in class, if you can believe that. And also the staff for your commitment to helping continue what I set out to do here at the university. The name Campbellsville parents have carried from here to Texas, to Oklahoma, California, over to Hawaii, to the countries that were mentioned. And, it was important to me that they understood what they were playing for with that. My name on that court today is only because of the efforts of those young women standing back in the other corner and all of those that aren't able to make it today. I look out on this court and I see footprints from those who took to that court with a belief in themselves, a belief in their teammates, and what playing for their team meant. And I think I can ask them, as you gaze out on that court, to find your memorable spot, whether it was behind the three-point line or the free throw line or in the paint or from end zone to end zone in those 8s and 16s you had to run. Know that your footprints are a large part of that stamp of approval from that name. I want to acknowledge Ginger and Hootie. Both of them played for me, for continuing to empower young women, because that was the job at hand. And I know that they will remind them, those sitting on that bench today, that when they step out on this court to play, they do so to uphold what that means and what it's meant to those players down on that end and those that can't be here today and the two people sitting on the bench with you. That you're there to uphold the name, what Lady Tiger basketball stands for, a principle of commitment, of a work ethic, of discipline, and a belief in yourself of never giving up. Those principles never change. And as I said today at the banquet, we share this court dedication together. Your footprints in my name. Thank you so much for such a wonderful honor.
For eternity, her name lives on the court here at the Powell Athletic Center. A building, I think maybe that makes this a little more unique. Her entire coaching career happened in this facility, so it wasn't like she just came in and coached a few years. All 32 seasons happened here at the Powell.
Yeah, a lot of special memories here. As we mentioned, 90% winning percentage on this court as teams come in to play against Lady Tiger basketball, and there have been some dandies of some matchups throughout the career here at Campbellsville University. So
we'll break away here. Benji's going to get some photos. Coverage continues. We'll break away, join our radio broadcast in just a moment. You're following Lady Tiger basketball on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
I love you.
Smith, If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
The clock is restarted here, Benji Kelly, as we get set for tip-off. You put the emotions
play a game now.
Yeah, you put the emotions behind you and get set for battle as Campbellsville University will take on Bethel, the #1 ranked Lady Tigers. Bethel comes in the receiving boats category. Lady Tigers trying to hold serve here at home, protect that #1 ranking. And, you know, I talked to Coach Miranda Denny before the game. Her birthday was yesterday. I asked her, do you ask for 2 wins this weekend? Do you take the Thursday before your birthday, the Saturday after your birthday? How is it? She said, we got to win them all week long. It's a birthday week. So the Lady Tigers have their work cut out for them today.
Well, they do, and against a storied program in itself, Bethel University, and Coach Chris Nelson is a great friend of Coach Ginger High Colvin. They actually started about the same time. I think he's in his 16th year. Coach Colvin's in her 15th year, and they've had a lot of battles throughout the years. And once Bethel came into the conference last year, you know, we're going to get to see this twice, if not 3 times a year before you even get to the national tournament. So just an exciting time, but once again, we got to take care of business here today. This Bethel team, they love to shoot the 3, and they'll probably play a little bit of zone against us, so we're going to have to make some shots. So we've got our hands full here this afternoon in the Powell Gymnasium at the Donna Wise Court.
Officially,
yes,
Donna Wise
we can
Court.
now say that.
That's pretty cool. Lady, it's kind of like waiting for you to be the Hall of Famer. I had to talk. I had to wait on that a while. But Lady Tigers lead the all-time series 13-2. Campbellsville's won 8 straight in the series. All of the matchups have come under Coach Ginger High Colvin and Chris Nelson as the head coaches between the 2 clubs. Of course, their most famous meeting was the 2015 quarterfinal matchup in the NAI tournament. CU overcame a 19-point deficit with 15 minutes to play. We were there, Benji Kelly. We couldn't believe our eyes. We went from downtrodden and defeated. They closed the game on a 39-11 run. They won by 9, advanced to the Fab Four for the first time in program history. And Madison Clements, who's on the Lady Tigers sideline there, scored 18 points in the victory for the Lady Tigers. We'll step away, take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with starting lineups. You're following Lady Tiger basketball on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
Campbellsville University is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on colleges to award certificates, associate, baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees. Contact the Commission on Colleges at 1866 Southern Lane, Decatur, Georgia, 30033-4097, or call 404-679-4500 for questions about the status of Campbellsville University.
School is a lot different right now. Some days kids are learning at home with their parents' help, and
some days Elmo goes to school. To stay healthy, Elmo wears his mask and stays apart from his friends.
That's right. It may be challenging, but remember, when things get tough, to take a slow, deep breath. We are all in this together.
Yeah. Come on, Daddy. It's time for school at home.
Caring for each other because we are all in this together.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us. That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu.
We don't have time for delays.
Ready!
We don't have time for spills.
Next.
We don't have time for setbacks. Let's be real.
Getting the flu shot
helps you fight the flu.
Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you, too.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way. My kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
It is just about time for tip-off here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. The Lady Tigers and Bethel Wildcats in the Powell Athletic Center will take to the court as CU will try to protect that #1 ranking. 7-0 on the season for Campbellsville. They're 3-0 in conference play. Bethel University comes in 4-3 overall on the season. They are 1-2 in Mid-South Conference action. As we wind down here, we will, well, Benji, I probably shouldn't have taken that last break. We've got the anthem and prayer here.
That's all right.
The pregame threw me completely off, so we will actually step away. I'm used to men's games. They do that with about 8 minutes on the clock. Here they do it right when the clock winds down. So we'll have an opening prayer. We'll also have our national anthem. We'll step away at the short break. We'll come back in just a bit with starting lineups. You're following the Lady Tigers. This is the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
If doctors, nurses, and grocery store clerks can wear a mask for 10 or 12-hour shifts, you can wear a mask for an hour or less when you go to the store. Do your part. Mask up, America.
I work out every day. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 24. COVID won't kill me.
I have antibodies. COVID won't kill me.
It's been a long week. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 25. COVID won't kill me.
I'm partying outside. COVID won't kill me.
I don't need to wear a mask around my friends. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 23. COVID won't kill me.
If I haven't gotten it yet, COVID won't kill me.
I'm young. COVID won't kill me.
Famous last words. Don't let them be yours. Socially distance. Mask up, America.
Take a look at Campbellsville University's campus with us, right here on WLCU TV, Campbellsville, Comcast Channel 10, and Digital Channel 15.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
A champion doesn't get days off. It takes determination and drive to realize goals. From long nights to early mornings. From the courts to the classrooms to online. At Campbellsville University, this is why we play. This is how we learn. This is where champions are made. Find your calling for a life change at campbellsville.edu.
Welcome inside the Powell Athletic Center. Starting lineups being announced for the Bethel University Wildcats out of McKenzie, Tennessee, coached by Chris Nelson in his 16th season, assisted by Mark Vaughn and his wife, Jennifer Nelson. Today they send out Keely Moreau, 5'10", a junior forward from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Madison Henniger, 6'1", a sophomore forward from Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Millie Bryant, 5'9", a senior guard from Dresden, Tennessee. Mickey Head, 6'1", a senior forward from Clarksville, Tennessee. And Kaylin Howard, 5'7", a freshman guard from Covington, Tennessee. Got things rocking here in the POW as the #1 ranked Lady Tigers have their starting lineup announced by public address Corbin Harris. Ginger High Colvin in her 15th season, 391 wins on the ledger, 5 times the Conference Coach of the Year award winner. She sends out tonight Bailey Pettigo, 5'7", a junior guard from Glasgow, Kentucky. One half of the Great Lakes, it's Faith, 5'9", a graduate senior guard from Harrodsburg, Tennessee. The other half, Lexi Lake, 5'9", a graduate senior guard from Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Ashley McGeorge, 6 foot, a redshirt senior forward from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. And rounding out the 5 for the Lady Tigers, it's Swiss. Courtney Pritchett, 5'8", a redshirt junior forward from Byrdstown, Tennessee. Miranda Denny, Madison Clements, Madison Faulkner, the assistants for the Lady Tigers. Benji Kelly, we're ready for action. Campbellsville and the home Grays here today as they get set for battle to take on Bethel. The Lady Tigers down to our right. Bethel University in the road purples, white lettering and numerals. Bethel across the chest there as Campbellsville will come to the midcourt area in a moment. Lady Tigers with Campbellsville across the chest in maroon, some white trim around those. They've got the maroon numerals. Right to left for Campbellsville in the first half. If you're following along on radio, left to right for the Wildcats. It's a beautiful December day outside. Only thing that makes it any better, a couple Lady Tiger wins here.
Couple Lady Tiger and Tiger wins. Yeah, sweep of the weekend, so to speak. And I tell you, it's a busy day in Campbellsville University athletics. I don't know, we'll talk a little bit more about that, but let's get a couple wins here this afternoon here at the POW.
Toss is controlled here by Bethel. Howard working against Faith Lake. She'll go left side. Millie Bryan had a big day against Georgetown. Of course, Georgetown picking up a win, however, as Bryant was the player for Bethel in that game carrying the load. She hits a 3 here early to start the basketball game. She was a honorable mention in the Mid-South Conference a year ago and well on her way to earning that honor again, maybe a little better this season.
Yeah, this Bethel team can shoot the ball deep from downtown, and we saw that there by Millie Bryant.
Pettigo goes right side. Lexi Lake can't shoot it. Going to bounce it to Faith Lake, right wing. 13 to shoot. Faith bounces to Pritchett, baseline face up, now steps back. Entry here, McGeorge going to go quickly across the lane. Shot blocked by Head. And the outlet here is Howard pushing for Bethel. Howard looking for some help. Head will flash out and help reset it. Campbellsville have to match up. Down in the corner, it's Moreau. Back out, Bryant. Bryant 32% from deep on the year. Hit one to start the game for Bethel. Driving is Howard. She gets around a couple of Lady Tiger defenders. Her shot no good. Rebound to Pettigo. She wants to run. Bounces it long ahead here to Lexi Lake. Back to Pettigo. 20 on the shot clock as Pettigo stands between the circles. Faith Lake wants the entry. She has Pritchett. Little pass fake out the Lake. Now works. Goes up. And one for Swift.
Wow, what a strong move by Courtney Pritchett there. Kind of sized the defense up, and she put a little move on her and slipped through there. A little double team and to draw the foul and a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play to tie this thing up.
Pritchett returned on Thursday night after missing a couple of contests. Rolled that ankle at Pikeville in a close win for Campbellsville. Hits the free throw here. Pritchett the other night had 10 points and 6 boards for Campbellsville in the win, 4 assists as well. Knots it up 3 apiece, and here McGeorge reaching in as she was trying to break up that pass and got quite a bit of Morrow there. So this will be the first on Ashley McGeorge, first on the Lady Tigers. Coach Nelson taking a look down there. He was trying to figure out who that foul was on, and then Ginger told him it was actually two fouls on Mickey Head, but it was just the one. Back to play here as Bethel will inbound, finding Bryant.
He thought it was on 21, and they don't have a 21.
They don't have a 21 on the roster at all, at least not on mine. Here is Head pushing it out to Bryant, now into the corner. Can't shoot it. Back to Head. She is facing a double team. Nearly lost the handle. Stays with it. That's a nice job by Head just to keep it alive. Moreau going to can the three off of it. How about Mickey Head between 4 Lady Tigers? Able to maintain the possession. I thought for sure Campbellsville had a takeaway.
Well, I did too. You know, it's just a impressive play there by Mickey Head to find the open shooter in the corner for a three. Once again, this Bethel team can shoot it from 3.
Right side, Lake, 3, bang! Lexi Lake and Edward Jones triple.
And speaking of shooting threes really well, that young lady can as well. What is that number? 207.
Here is Bethel. That is Howard. They got it to Moreau. Now into the corner is Henniger. Far side. Bryant on the drive. Cut off by Pritchett, and they're actually going to call a foul on Pritchett.
A little bit of bump there by Pritchett in the body. I've seen other fouls more egregious than that, but they're calling it a little tight here early.
Free throw here is good for Bryant. Millie Bryant with 4 of the 7 for Bethel to start this basketball game. She had 32 points. I mentioned she had the hot hand against Georgetown. She had 32 points, 8 rebounds. She's got 5 to start this one as she hits the second free throw.
Well, as you said, a Mid-South Conference honorable mention. I would not be surprised if first or second team this year, 15 points, 7 rebounds, and shooting 53% from the field. Pretty impressive.
A little full court pressure here for Bethel. Campbellsville does a nice job to break it into the corner. Lake, another 3. That one is no good. Rebound taken by Ashley McGeorge, earning that McBoard nickname.
She definitely knows how to rebound, Matt.
Pettigo out to Faith Lake here. McGeorge sets the screen. Faith Lake into the corner. She and Lexi a little back and forth. Now Pritchett holds it. McGeorge has the seal, and we're going to have a 3-second call against Ashley McGeorge. We'll give it back to Bethel as Ashton Hume checks into the ball game. Hume, a 5'9" senior forward from Jackson, Tennessee.
Ashley was in there just a little bit too long. Probably would have been okay if she had come out, but stayed in there as the entry pass came just a little bit too long.
Head brings it down the floor here for Bethel. Here is Hume open for 3, and that is good. Bethel, they couldn't hit a shot against Georgetown. The team outside of Millie Bryant shot it at about 23% overall. Well, Coach, everybody hitting them.
Yeah, they are. And Coach Collin was worried about that. I was talking to her late last night, texting. She's like, this team can shoot the 3 extremely well, and hopefully they'll cool off a little bit. Already 3 for 3 here early in this game.
Here is McGeorge finding a cutting Pritchett. Pritchett spinning. Nice job by Pritchett. Couldn't finish. She maybe got a little too far underneath. We're going to go to the arrow here. That should keep it with the Lady Tigers. 11-6. Bethel leads it by 5 points. 6:05 to play in the first quarter.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Bethel receive some votes in the last?
Yeah, they were receiving votes. You know. Here is Pritchett just inside the arc. Going to hit the mid-range show-off shot.
Good job by Courtney Pritchett there off the out-of-bounds play.
Bryant works her way free from some defenders. Now Moreau back out. This is Bryant holding it. Double team there, and Campbellsville going to be called for a foul here. Pettigo going to pick up the contact. Bailey Pettigo from over in that Barron County area. 104.7 the score. You've got us tuned in today. Thank you for following along.
Appreciate Greg Bowen from Commonwealth Broadcasting allowing us to pick up our feed for 104 the score. This is a little trial run for us. Hopefully if things go well, we'll expand that a little bit.
Howard, the basketball being pounded by Faith Lake. She'll give it off to Bryant. Faith Lake picks her up. Right side of the lane. Ooh, extra step there. That would have extended my basketball career several years. Had that been legal, Benji Kelly, I would have made it past middle school or something.
I tell you what, good call by the official. But you're seeing more and more of that, trying to get in the game, that Euro step, whatever they call it, that extra step in the NBA. But that definitely was 3 steps there, and a good call by the official.
Pritchett out to Pettigo. She's open, won't shoot. It works off the Pritchett screen left corner. This is Lexi Lake. Thought she might take a 3, instead out. Pettigo wide open, triple on the way. That is short. Pritchett gonna grab the rebound. She's wide open, dishes it across the paint to McGeorge, right there on the right block for the bucket.
Good job by Swiss to get that rebound. She actually had her shot herself, but saw an open McGeorge and able to do a nice bounce pass.
Campbellsville maybe missed an opportunity there, Benji. They had that errant pass, and they wanted to, the coaches wanted to trap Howard in the backcourt. A little too late. Pettigo knocks it away. I think it's gonna go out of bounds. It does. And It will be Bethel basketball. This brings us to a media timeout. That missed three by Pedigo, her first of the season. She started 3 for 3.
You know, she was due to miss. Statistically, you know, she doesn't shoot that often, but when she does, she's pretty effective. We saw that down there at Cumberland's. She really played well for us, but you're gonna miss them every now and then.
Media timeout here. We'll step away. Campbellsville trails by 1, 11-10. Bethel leads. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Eleven to 10, the Lady Tigers trail Bethel here. A couple of changes for Campbellsville. Lauren Lee going to enter, 5'6", a sophomore guard from Liberty, Kentucky. You've also got Shyla Calvert, 5'5", a graduate senior guard from Bardstown, Kentucky, and Caitlin Wilkes, 6'2", a junior forward from Stanford, Kentucky, out there for Campbellsville. A lot of Lady Tigers in the building today. There's one that I know has some eligibility left, and that's she's sitting on that front row far side. Savannah Gregory, Savannah Ramos nowadays.
Good to see a lot of the Lady Tigers back. All-time leading scorer right across the table from us as well, Andrea Deaton-Smith. So.
Back to work back to play we go, I should say. Here's a shot down inside, missed by Bryant. Lauren Lee the other way, quickly out. Faith Lake won't shoot it. Into the corner, Pritchett, back to Lake. Lee again straight away. Zone look defensively here, it appears, for
going back
now.
now.
They match up. Lake looked over the top, not there. Wilkes, left side, Lee, 13 to shoot. Calvert, they want the entry. No, it's going to be Lake on the right side. Driving, 7 to shoot, out. Lauren Lee open, won't shoot it. Little jab step, back to Faith Lake, 3 to shoot. Jumper on the way, good for Faith Lake, along 2 for Faith.
Well, it's about an 18-footer there, but good penetration there by Lauren Lee to find an open Faith Lake there in the corner for a nice jumper.
Pritchett reads the pass. She'll come the other way. Stole the Mickey Head attempt, lays it in.
Yeah, what a good job by Courtney there to kind of get down there and use her body up against Mickey Head, and was able to get that shot off. So
long passes can be dangerous against this Lady Tiger team, because you just never know where one might fly in from.
Not even long passes, just passes in general.
Yeah. Here's Head wide open. She'll take a long jumper, no good. Rebound to Faith Lake.
There we go.
Campbellsville's largest lead here at 3 points. They can extend. Long ahead, Lee open. Pritchett won't shoot it. She'll spin back to the middle. Open corner, Lake, 3. It is in and out. And down. How about that? In, out, and down for Faith Lake.
Would you call that a friendly roll?
Hey.
Wow. That thing stayed up there for a good couple seconds. Was able to roll in.
17-11, Lady Tigers with a 6-point advantage. Bryant at the elbow over the top. Hume, that's nice offense. Hume does a nice job to gather. Missed the shot, gets her own miss. Going to go back up. Shot is short here. Rebound taken in there by Moreau, and we're going to have a foul called on Campbellsville.
I don't see how that is a
Moreau
foul.
Was on the back of Pritchett.
Yeah.
Unless they say maybe Pritchett was using the rump to create a little room there, or push, but it's a tough sell.
It is a tough sell. That's number 2 on Pritchett there. Unfortunate there, 4th-team foul, but Campbellsville dodged a couple bullets there.
Here, a quick trigger 3 from Moreau is good.
Yeah, you can't give this team multiple opportunities like that. They're too good of a basketball team to not miss more than 2 or 3 shots, but got this thing to 3 now.
Out top, Faith Lake with it. Hit that Edward Jones 3 a moment ago, did Lake. Now Lee, elbow jumper. That is too pure for Lauren Lee.
I tell you what, Matt, by the time her career is over, she's already a special player, but I look for her name to be in several record books here at this Lady Tiger basketball program.
You know, she comes in, and we'll make a correlation to another former Lady Tiger here in a moment, as Howard finds herself wide open off the right wing. That is no good. Rebound to Moreau. She'll go back up. No good. And Wilkes going to be fouled here as Hume comes across and gets a piece of Caitlin Wilkes. But, you know, Lauren reminds me a little bit of Leanne Grider.
She does,
She was
absolutely.
trying, you know, early in her career, Lee was really good at getting to the rim. She continued to work on and develop the jumper. And I think maybe Lauren Lee is a little ahead of Leanne with some of the range and different things, and sky's the limit, certainly.
You're exactly right. When we were talking early, bad bounce pass there by Pedigo, turnover, but Lauren Lee has that pedigree of Leanne Grider, but you're right, she's a couple of years ahead of being able to finish like Leanne did late in her career.
Moreau lost the handle. She's wanting a timeout. They're finally going to give it to her.
So do we have a timeout? Or okay, they gave the timeout.
They did give a timeout, a 30-second timeout here, so we will stay with you. Campbellsville leads it 19-14, 1:54 to play in the first quarter. Lady Tigers, the fast start offensively. Bethel pretty much the same. Campbellsville led in scoring by Courtney Pritchett with 7 early in the ball game. They've gotten 5 from Faith Lake, 3 from Lexi Lake. And Lauren Lee and Ashley McGeorge a couple of points each for the Lady Tigers, and it's going to be a fun-filled day in the Mid-South Conference, Benji. Some interesting matchups. That Pikeville, Tennessee Southern game going to be a good one. Thomas More and Lindsey Wilson one I'm looking forward to as well, and that Freed Hardeman Georgetown game. So some intriguing matchups on the women's side here today.
Well, it is, and once again, as we've mentioned so many times, I hate to be redundant, but every night in the Mid-South Conference or every afternoon, there's always some great matchups because they're just from top to bottom, they're solid teams.
Bethel to inbound. Howard pitches it in to Moreau. Backtracks a bit. Now wants to drive. Splits a couple of Lady Tigers, but Wilkes does a nice job defensively to stand her ground. She gets the rebound. Here comes Lee. She pushes Sarah Sutton into the ballgame for Campbellsville. Lee going to drive at the rim. Shot no good. Rebound to Hume. Sutton, I mentioned, for Campbellsville, 5'11" junior forward from Scottsville, Kentucky.
Sutton against Bethel last year had a pretty good game against them, if I'm not mistaken.
Mickey Head's three is no good. Ball batted around and controlled by Lauren Lee. Nope, actually Bryant in there. Calvert trying to break it up. Mickey Head comes out of there as Millie Bryant got it to her. She finds Hume for the bucket.
Yeah, it's unfortunate there. Just a little
hot
bounce.
Potato.
Yeah, it's a hot potato, and Bethel was just a little more aggressive at it than Campbellsville was.
Lee straight away between the circles here. 19-16, Lady Tigers lead. Lake, three, bang, Lexi Lake, another Edward Jones triple.
Boy, it's good to see her have two good games here from three-point range. Struggled a little bit early in the offensive end of things, but when she heats up, she's fun to watch.
Bryant off the wing, now into the corner. Jumper for Bethel. That is an air ball by Hume. Here comes Lee. No numbers, she's going to race. Slows down, now accelerates. Shot may have been partially blocked. Lee gets it back. Calvert, open, straightaway triple. No good. Rebound, Sutton.
There we go. Way to be there in the right place there, Sarah Sutton. Get a little gimme there.
24-16 the score. Campbellsville leading by 8. Here is Howard. Nice little shimmy there by Howard. Throws one underneath to Hume. Couldn't handle it cleanly. Looking for some help, back out to Bryant. Campbellsville does a nice job to close out. Bryant, back to Hume. Jumper is good. They're going to call it a three for Hume. That's the same spot she airballed one from a moment ago. Sometimes it works out, as that's going to close out the first quarter. Campbellsville
what a quarter.
Get a look. 24-19 the score. The Lady Tigers lead it by 5. Their largest lead was 8 prior to that. Hume three-point field goal. We'll step away, take a break ourselves, catch our breath. You do the same. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports.
If you love concerts and live theater, going to baseball games, and eating in restaurants, inside, if you love parties and the small talk with the guy who makes you iced coffee the right way, then wear a mask and let's beat this virus, so we can get back to the things we love. Mask up, America.
(24-19) Campbellsville leads Bethel by 5 points here in the Powell Athletic Center. Lady Tigers 10 of 15 shooting there in the first quarter. Not too shabby, Benji Kelly. You look at some of those numbers, 3 of 5 from deep. Pritchett, Lake, and Lake, all heavy contributors here for this Lady Tiger team in the early going.
You know, early it was Bethel, but Campbellsville kind of, that first media timeout, I believe we're down 11-10. But since that time, have went on a 14-8 run, and a large in part doing that, a couple threes by Campbellsville. I'll tell you what, this Bethel team, though, as well as they shoot the three-point ball, as we've seen 5 of 8 here in the first quarter, they're always in it because they can hit several in buckets. But pretty good first quarter for the Lady Tigers, and I think she's going back out with a couple of the starters. I see, well, actually all but Sarah Sutton. So Sarah played against this team last year, played a really good game, and hopefully she can relay back on those memories and have another good outing here this afternoon.
You know, Sutton is one that we've spent a lot of time talking about. Benji, you're just waiting for her to kind of have that breakthrough moment. We know that she's had. It's been rough. She
has
had
been.
COVID last December, and then the rolled ankle. It's just been.
She and I actually talked a little bit yesterday, and she's frustrated, and the confidence level is not there. And I told her, I said, just rely back on those memories. She's too good of a player not to be as effective as what she's been here this year. So
well, you don't end up over in your neck of the woods at Murray State
University
exactly
to
play
right.
basketball if you can't play the game.
Yeah.
And, she's just trying to
fight through it,
get back to normal, so to speak. Howard inside here. Bethel over the top to Hume. That's a nice job. Post entry there from Mickey Head to free up Hume, and a bucket for the Wildcats. Pettigo bounces right side. Sutton holds it. A lot of motion for the Lady Tigers. They'll go right side to Lexi Lake. Open three again. Bang! Lexi Lake feeling good.
She can get a shot off about as quick as anybody in this league. And when she's on, watch out.
Sarah Higdon-Thurman is in the building today. She's under assault. I don't think Lexi will get there today. She might before things are all said and done. Going to be fun to monitor, but if she shoots it like this very often.
Good block out by Bailey Pettigo there to allow Faith Lake to get the rebound.
Here long ahead, Faith to McGeorge. Maybe a little too much momentum there. That was hard by Ashley McGeorge. Bryant wants to run. She's got Morrow, who leaves it with Howard. Ball fake, frees herself up. 3 on the way. That is no good. Rebound taken here by Sarah Sutton. 27-21 the count.
Good rebound by Sarah there.
Pettigo thought she was going to shovel that back to the trailer. Sutton hangs on to it. Faith Lake holds it. Campbellsville motioning here offensively. Lexi Lake off the wing right side. 10 to shoot. Left side, this is Pettigo. Drives in. Looking for some help. 5 to shoot. Pettigo going to have to just throw one up. And that pass is stolen. She was looking across the lane for one of the 2 Lakes. Bryant picked it off. Hume open straight away. 3. That is no good. Rebound tapped up into the air. Controlled here by McGeorge. Campbellsville the other way. They lead by 6 with the basketball. Pettigo shovels it back to Lexi Lake, and now they reset. Pettigo wants Sutton. She's got her left side triple. Bang! Sarah Sutton!
There we go, Sarah Sutton. That's right.
And that will force Chris Nelson to burn a timeout as Shootin' Sutton gets in on the act. 30-21 the score. Campbellsville a 9-point advantage as this becomes a media timeout. Benji, that's exactly what the doctor ordered, Dr. Kelly here.
You know, I tell you, she's too good of a player, and I just told her, just relax. Let the game come to you. Don't force it. And that play was designed for her. When she got the ball, she stepped right in it and nailed it. That's what she needs to do each and every night. Love it.
Campbellsville leading 30-21. We'll talk about Donna Wise throughout the day. We'll keep it here. But one thing I wanted to mention, you know, some of my memories with Coach Wise comes from the academic side. Outside of my wife, I'm not sure anybody else was more determined for me to graduate. And I was a non-traditional at that point. Had done, you know, managed a sporting goods store and different stuff. Decided, hey, you know, let me go back and finish a degree and all of those things. And I think that Coach Wise may have been the most determined of anyone outside, again, of my wife for me to finish. And I will never forget that. And we would sit down and have conversations. Had her in class as a student. And, you know, just the wealth of knowledge from a worldly standpoint, her viewpoints on things, and just the right way to do things, the right way to live, and just to be a human being.
Yes.
Those lessons, something you never forget.
And you know, yes, she was a basketball coach and did it extremely well. But I think a lot of times what people don't realize is the impact that she made outside of the court, in the classroom, in the community. Just a special lady, and you know, such an encourager. And I tell you, in this day and time, we need more people like that.
We've got a package at halftime we'll run for you. It was in our pregame coverage, but a package we'll run at halftime here as Howard is open for three, and Bethel not going to go away.
No,
Man, they keep on shooting it. Did they call that a two? No,
it's a three. They're 5 of 6 of 11, 54%. Of course, Campbellsville 71% from three.
Sutton looking here, going to come to McGeorge, and now Pettigo off the handoff from McGeorge. Still on the dribble is Bailey. Bailey going to go to Sutton, right side. She's wide open. Another three on the way. Bang! Sarah Sutton! 2 here today.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Just relax, let the game come to you. Sarah Sutton playing extremely well. Good defense there.
You want me to tell you how the #1 team in the country becomes even more dangerous?
Yeah, that's right.
And that's if number 24.
24, that's right.
Comes alive. They become really, really difficult to guard at first and second units. Here
it's a
is
double dribble.
Ryan in there, double dribble. She spills to the floor. 33-24. You know, you're Bethel, you're on the road here. You got 24 points in the first 13 minutes. You feel good about that, and then you look up and you're still down 9.
Well, you are, and you're shooting the ball well from three, but Campbellsville on fire from the floor. 13 of 19 overall, 6 of 8 from three-point range.
Campbellsville working against this full court pressure. Nice job by Lexi Lake to navigate free there from a would-be trap. Here is Faith Lake. She'll drive, baseline, layup with the right hand. That's good for Faith Lake.
You know, Faith Lake, I tell you, the last couple of years, she's become more aggressive on the perimeter and just a special player. The both Great Lakes, they know how to win, don't they, Matt?
I'm telling you, that pedigree from Mercer County. Back tap by Lake. That was Lexi, but Campbellsville couldn't control it. Couple of state championships under their belt in high school. Here's a jumper from Moreau. That is hard. And the rebound taken by Pettigo. She will push for Campbellsville. Long ahead. Faith Lake going to shovel it back. Trailer, her twin sister, Lexi. Bang! You betcha!
How many times have we seen that, Matt? A trailing Lexi Lake. The defense gets back, but they forget about the three-point shooter. And Lake has just drained them this afternoon.
Lexi Lake is
210, right?
Connected on all
209.
4. Is right side. This is Hume. That jumper is no good. Rebound to Sutton. That is 210 by my count.
210, okay.
She had 206 coming in. Pettigo going to bounce. Left side. Faith Lake. Here is McGeorge up off glass. Good. She gets the deuce.
That is some efficient basketball right there, Matt Payton.
40-24, and if you're Coach Chris Nelson, what do you do? I mean, here's the steal. Howard throws it away.
Spot up, Lexi.
Looking. Waits. Now Pettigo holds it. Looks for a cutting Sutton. No, it's McGeorge from 14 feet. No good, and the rebound taken here by Moreau. May have been a double dribble there by Moreau. Here's Bryant, wide open left side three. That is hard, and the rebound will be grabbed by Howard. Howard drives in, throws up a shot. We're going to have a foul, my goodness, against Ashley McGeorge.
I think she anticipated that being a foul.
Yeah, because it looked like McGeorge almost backed away.
Yes.
But hard to tell what the lower half looked like there from the two. 40-24, Lady Tigers. Man, this is a clinic right now, and this is a really good Bethel team. So, very impressive performance here as Howard kills one off the back of the iron. Lexi Lake at 210. We mentioned she passed Farrah Sullivan the other night against, I think it was Bryant Stratton College, where she actually passed Farrah. She is now hot on the trails here as Howard misses this free throw. Sutton the rebound. She is trailing Jody Criswell.
And Jody could play well as well. That was back in the 80s and 90s. Jody was on that first team that went to the national tournament.
Jody was here from 89 to 93. Sutton, elbow J. Yes. That is good for Sarah Sutton. Lady Tigers, 42-25.
As Coach Colvin looks over, she's like, yep, that's the Sutton I recruited.
That's the one that takes this team to the next level. Sutton knocks it away from Bryant. Here comes Lexi Lake. Looking for Calvert. She didn't quite see Moreau.
Didn't see her. That's exactly right.
Moreau left side. This is Henniger up off glass. Good. 42-27 the count.
Good job by Caitlin to get back.
Lee to Calvert. Now Sutton again, a little push shot. May have rushed it. It won't go. I thought it was going to fall anyhow. Lexi Lake a rebound. Sutton a J. Feeling good. You let it ride.
That's right.
Take the good with the bad.
Shoot or shoot.
Sutton feeling a lot better here today in the Powell Center. 15-point Lady Tiger lead.
She may be a little fatigued there. This is the most minutes she's played in a row.
Yeah, I think they've got a change coming for her. New player in the game a moment ago was Kyla Taylor, 5'7" sophomore guard from Lexington, Tennessee. Here's Bryant, shot no good. Wilkes overran the rebound as she closed out initially. And they put back for Bethel. 42-29. Bethel trying to play through this Lady Tiger run.
It's interesting, Coach Nelson has not called a timeout throughout all of this.
Left side, it's Calvert. Now Sutton. Right side, Lee. Lee on the drive. Inside bump. They'll wave off the shot, but Lauren Lee will take a trip here to the free throw line. Campbellsville led
40-24, wasn't it?
It was 30-24. And then they went on a 10-0 run. That foul for Bethel a moment ago was on Morrow. Campbellsville looking. Lee going to bounce it out to Pettigo here. First on Moreau, first on Bethel. Faith Lake out top. Now Lee wants to drive. Stops, looking for help. Pettigo, left corner. Lake will drive. Lake up the right hand. That's Faith Lake, and she is fouled. This, I believe, will be on Taylor. Kyla Taylor's first, second on Bethel in the period.
Well, once again, this aggressiveness of Faith over the last couple of years on the perimeter, just pretty impressive as she's elevated that game.
Campbellsville shooting 65% from the field here in the early stages. Lake with the free throw. That is good there for Faith. One more coming here for Faith Lake, and that is no good. So she gets one of two. It's a 43-29 contest. Howard to Bryant. Back to Howard. Little ball fake. Bryant again on the wing right side. Wants to drive, cut off. Howard left side, 11 to shoot. Straight away. Here's Bryant. Still working. Back out to Head. She's going to hoist a three. That is no good for Mickey Head, and the rebound bounces off to Lauren Lee. Lee pushes, no numbers. Slows down. Trailer is Calvert. She drives right side, and the purple sea parts, but Shyla pulled the string.
I don't think she realized how open she was.
Here's Head wide open. She walked. Had a wide open look. Mickey Head has been around, it seems like, for years. She was at Martin Methodist, now Tennessee Southern, and then transferred to Bethel. Shuffled the feet on that far side.
She has a unique shot, and it's more of a step and
a push almost.
Yeah, so.
Lee gonna take it here as they clear out, puts Moreau in the ringer a bit there. I don't know how that's not a foul. It looked like there was some heavy contact. Moreau able to come up with a stop there in the one-on-one situation. Now she's open for three, and she sinks a triple.
Well, she can hit it. How many times was that, 2 or 3 already here tonight?
And Moreau is a Kentucky product from Bowling Green. Went to Lipscomb there and found her way to McKenzie. 43-32, Lee with the basketball right side. Calvert gets knocked down. She's going to jump back up here. Pettigo working off the elbow, bounces, little backdoor cut to Faith Lake, who wants Wilkes. They threw it away. Wilkes went off to the right side of the lane, and Lake threw it into the middle of the floor. Howard, little ball fake, back to Mickey Head. She's open, she'll fire it here, and that is no good. High rebound comes down into the arms of Calvert. Left side, Faith Lake back. Lauren Lee wide open, won't shoot it. Splits some defenders, and here's a foul as Lee is hit by Taylor. It's going to be 2 on Kyla Taylor. 3 on Bethel as a club. Hume going to check back in. Hume had the hot hand for Bethel. 43-32, Campbellsville the 11-point lead. 1:10 to play in the first half. Pettigo leaves it with Lauren Lee. Now right side, it's Calvert, bounces, entry to Wilkes, goes to work, off glass, you better believe it.
Absolutely, you get that ball down there, Caitlin Wilkes knows what to do with it.
Over the next few years, I'm going to say it a million times, how quick she operates, I just love it. There's no thought to it, it's boom, we're gone.
And that's what I was trying to tell Sarah yesterday. Just react. That's what Caitlin Wilkes does. When she gets the ball, she reacts. She knows what she's going to do with it, and it's a thing of beauty.
You see Howard driving here, but so often as Wilkes flies out, Howard open. Shot no good. Pettigo the rebound. You see so often players want to face up, and ball fake and jab and all this different stuff. Caitlin Wilkes, that's not it.
It's not.
It's in my hands and it's out of my hands in about the second and a half.
She reminds me of Jordan Dorn.
Yeah, a lot. She's a little bigger, taller than Jordan, has some of those soft hands as well. Maybe not as soft. Here's Lee, open three is no good, and the rebound taken by Hume, and the shot clock is off. 11 seconds. Bethel will push. Moreau goes down the lane. Shot no good. We've got a foul called here against Campbellsville. Moreau will go to the line for 2 shots as they will hit Bailey Pettigo with her second. And with 6.4 on the clock, Lexi Lake will re-enter for Faith Lake. Campbellsville will have a look at the rim. In for Coach Nelson is C.C. Johnson, 5'7" freshman guard from Trenton, Tennessee. May have lost
we'll
a bet. Yeah. talk about that. Here's a jumper, or excuse me, a free throw by
Don't mean to throw you there.
Yeah, you did.
I'm
looking for him now. We'll get to it in the men's game. We'll reference this moment. Sutton going to check back in. Instant offense, perhaps. They need a made free throw for her to get into the lineup, and Moreau obliges as Faith Lake will enter as well.
Well, she's getting all of her shooters in here. You've got Lake, Sutton, Faith, and Lauren Lee, who's going to probably dish it to one of them.
45-34. Campbellsville by 11. 6.4 to play. Lee looking. Still looking. Pitches it into Calvert. It's knocked out of Calvert's hands by Johnson.
Clock should have.
Yeah, they're going to have to at least
probably 5-8.
The 10th or 2 off. 3/10.
I was a little more not as generous. Or
I said a 10th or 2. You went with,
I went with a half a second,
and they split the difference. Lee going to trigger it for Campbellsville. Looking, finds Lake, back to Lauren Lee. Long ahead, Calvert, right wing, going to drive. Looking for Sutton. We got a foul here as Sutton nearly falls over top of Henniger. They're going to get Henniger with the contact there.
Well, that was on a pass, so it'll be out of bounds ball to Campbellsville. So 1.4 here. You got to expect a quick hitter.
Pritchett going to check in. Pritchett had to sit with those fouls. And this here has to look. Campbellsville's not looking for a 3, Benji. They may be looking for something right at the rim with 1.4.
Absolutely.
However, you do have Lexi Lake out there, so it's a great option.
Well, it's a catch, 1 dribble at most, and a shot.
Pettigo to inbound. Here we go. Looking as Bailey Pettigo pitches it. Ball's deflected, and that is actually going to do it. Campbellsville won't get a look. It was deflected on the inbound.
Yeah,
she was wanting Calvert left wing. And that's where the first half will come to a close. 45-34.
Good half.
The score. Lady Tigers will head to the locker room with the advantage. 11 points the margin. We will step away, take a timeout. We'll come back and look at the numbers that made up the first 20 minutes. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
The biggest buffet in town is at the Winters Dining Hall, located on Campbellsville University's campus. We've got it all, from our main entree lines, pizza, pasta, soup, subzone, and our new Fresh and Fit section. Don't forget about our dessert corner. Winters Dining Hall is open to the public 7 days a week. $7 for lunch, $8 for dinner. Winters Dining Hall at Campbellsville University. Find us at campbellsville.edu/dining hall.
Come find solace at Saloma Baptist, an intergenerational church.
Here, the family of Christ extends far past the walls, and hospitality is held on high.
We are committed in our pursuit of discipling every nation and generation.
For more information on service times, visit salomabaptist.com or call 270-789-0082. And add our Facebook at Saloma Baptist Church.
Saloma Baptist, ministering to the community and to the world in the 21st century.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dwayne Norman, Senior Pastor of Campbellsville Baptist Church. You are invited to experience a caring community where the Word of God is taught and Christ is honored. We invest in the future of our children and youth by providing environments where they are loved, discipled, and taught the Bible, as well as our college ministry, which partners with students and faculty at Campbellsville University. Sunday school begins at 9:15, worship at 10:30. Come join us.
Hannah complained of a headache. It was a rhabdomyosarcoma.
Within a few days, Hannah was in treatment because we were told that the tumor was very aggressive. St. Jude is an asset to the world. The research that is developed here is offered freely. I think it's the kind of place that could teach the world a couple of lessons about how to treat people. If those lessons could be learned, this world could be a better place.
45-34 our score here at halftime. The Lady Tigers lead Bethel in the Powell Center at Donna Wise Court as coach and family and friends on hand here today for a monumental day. Lady Tigers doing their part there in the first half. Benji Kelly, 24 points they put up in the first quarter of play, 21 there in the second. They got rolling offensively. They shoot at 60% in the first half. Do the Lady Tigers 18 of 30, 7 of 10 from deep. That dog will hunt 2 of 3 at the free throw line.
It will definitely, especially 7 of 10 from downtown, 80%. So once they got rolling, you're exactly right. They did not take the foot off the pedal and built this thing to a pretty good lead here at halftime.
Campbellsville sees Bethel shoot 35.5% there in the first half. They were 11 of 31, and we'd have to go back and look. I'd like to know what they started maybe the first 4 or 5 minutes. And
they were 5 of
that,
7 at one point from three-point land.
So, yeah, so that number dropped dramatically. They finished 2 of their last 11 then, if that were the case. So 11 of 31 overall, 35%, 38.9% from long range, 7 of 18, 5 of 6 from the free throw line for Bethel there. Campbellsville got 12 in the first half from Lexi Lake. All 12 points coming beyond the arc. 4 made. Edward Jones 3-point field goals, gives her 210 in her career. Campbellsville got 10 from Sarah Sutton. That is a season high, I do believe, for Sarah Sutton. 4 of 6 shooting, 2 of 2 from deep for shooting 3 rebounds. And nice to see that performance coming off the bench for Campbellsville. Lady Tigers got 8 in the first from Faith Lake to go with 2 boards and 3 assists. She was a perfect 3 of 3 in the first half. 7 from Courtney Pritchett. She was in a little bit of foul trouble there, had 7 points early, 3 of 4 shooting, 2 dimes for Swiss. 4 points for Ashley McGeorge. They got 2 apiece from Lauren Lee and Caitlin Wilkes. Lee finishing with 3 rebounds and 2 dimes there. Campbellsville gets 7 of 7 shooting from Faith and Lexi. How about that?
That's
Benji?
impressive.
We saw Lexi knock down an Edward Jones 3 as well. They combined to go 7 of 7. You get those 2 wings shooting it that well, it might be a long night for you.
Well, and what you're starting to see here with this Lady Tiger team, and it's a little different than what they've had in previous years. In previous years, they've had 1 or 2 main scorers. But this Campbellsville University Lady Tiger team, on any given night, it can be anybody. And you're starting to see that a little bit. Sutton coming off the bench, 10 points. Faith Lake, playing extremely well. Lexi finally starting to get heating up and getting going. Whereas a couple of games ago, it was Caitlin Wilkes. One night it was Bailey Pettigo. So you would expect that from a #1 team in the nation, but to actually see it happen is pretty impressive.
For Bethel in the first half, they were led in scoring by Keely Moreau. She finished with 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of 7 shooting. She was 3 of 4 from deep for Coach Nelson's Wildcats. They got 10 from Ashton Hume off the bench, 3 rebounds for Hume. She was 4 of 8 shooting. 7 for Millie Bryant. Had 3 boards, did Bryant. Hit 1 3-point field goal. 4 points in the first half from Kaylin Howard. They got 2 from Madison Henniger. That rounds out the scoring for Bethel. Mickey Head scoreless. She did finish with 3 rebounds and credited with 5 assists. So when you're not scoring, Benji, when the shot's not dropping, find other ways to contribute. And Mickey Head, first teamer in the conference last year, that's what you expect to see from somebody with her skill set.
Absolutely, and you're seeing that for some of their other players as well. But I tell you, Campbellsville, the first 5 minutes of the game, I think a little bit of emotion of what happened here earlier with the dedication. They did not come out. They were hitting their shots, but they allowed Bethel to just really kind of go off from 3-point range. After that first media tide, it has been all Campbellsville University, and they built this lead and, still got to execute this game plan. because this Bethel team is too good, for especially from downtown. They can hit them in buckets. So we got to make sure that on the defensive end that we block out, continue to get their rebounds. It's good to see that we've actually out-rebounded them, and we're going to have to continue that in the second half.
17-15 the rebound count. Campbellsville with 3 on the offensive end, 6 for Bethel. Lady Tigers finished with 14 assists, 5 turnovers, 3 steals in the first half. 6 assists, 6 turnovers, and 3 steals for Bethel in the first 20 minutes of play. Points in the paint, 14-8 in favor of Campbellsville. Off turnovers, 6-5 in favor of the Lady Tigers. Second chance points, 8-4 in favor of Bethel, and bench points, 14-10 in favor of Campbellsville. Score was tied twice, 1 lead change. Largest lead for the Wildcats, 5 points for Campbellsville, 17 points. The largest margin. Here at halftime, we will step away. We'll take a timeout for television. We'll have a bit of a break here. You'll get the television package we ran pregame prior to the dedication of Donna Wise Court, so you'll get that if you're following along on our television streaming coverage. If you're with us on radio, whether that be 88.7 The Tiger or 104.7 The Score, we'll have an extended break here. We'll come back and continue coverage for the second half action in just a bit. At halftime, the Lady Tigers lead at 45-34. You're following Lady Tiger basketball on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
I love you. Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
My mission was to develop a program of national prominence, and we're there, and we continue to stay there.
For 32 seasons, Donna Wise roamed the sidelines of the Powell Athletic Center as the head coach of Campbellsville University Lady Tiger basketball. Coach Wise's accolades are innumerable, but among them, she led her Lady Tiger basketball teams to 16 national tournament appearances, including 5 NAIA quarterfinal berths. She boasts 661 career wins over her 32-year career at the helm of the Lady Tiger program. That's good for an average of over 20 wins per season. In 2000, she was named to the NAIA National Basketball Hall of Fame as well as the CU Athletics Hall of Fame in 2008. Perhaps no one knows Coach Donna Wise, professionally speaking, quite like her former pupil who arrived in 1986 and was groomed by Donna Wise to be her successor, current Lady Tiger head coach Ginger High Colvin.
I think I'm more proud of it than she is, just because I know the work she put into it. We crawl on a charter bus sometimes and roll off to our games. When she coached, we crawled into a van and used athletic tape to tape up the windows. She did a little bit of everything. And she worked extremely hard to give Campbellsville University the name that just was ranked 1. Probably not where we are right now, but she worked hard to establish just the traditional name of Campbellsville University Lady Tigers. And I feel such a burden to keep going with what she started. And I'm just blessed to have ended up here, and I couldn't be prouder of her, and I couldn't be prouder for her family. It was a family affair. It wasn't just Donna Wise. It was George Wise, Donna Wise, Max Wise, and now Heather Wise. And what their family means to me, we are family. And just could not, I could not be. I burst when I think about it.
Today, we honor and say thank you to head coach Donna Wise for all of her contributions to Campbellsville University. But most importantly, we recognize her impact on our campus, in our community, and across the globe through the game of basketball. Congratulations, Donna Wise, and welcome to the new Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center.
Campbellsville University is accredited by the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools Commission on Colleges to award certificates, associate, baccalaureate, master's, and doctoral degrees. Contact the Commission on Colleges at 1866 Southern Lane, Decatur, Georgia, 30033-4097, or call 404-679-4500 for questions about the status of Campbellsville University.
Back inside the Powell Center, 45-34. Campbellsville leads Bethel here as the Lady Tigers come from the locker room. Lady Tigers come back here ready for second half action in just a minute. Matt Payton and Benji Kelly along with you this afternoon as the two clubs in doubleheader action. Lady Tigers first, Tigers coming up shortly. I was going to look, Benji, and see some of the other scores from around.
I've got it pulled up, but I've been so in tuned in this game that I haven't had a chance to look at it. Let's see.
And it doesn't update live. You've got to refresh
Cumberland's
that screen.
is up 3 on live in 8 minutes in the third, and I think that was the only early tip. The rest of them are just now getting ready to. Oh, no, I'll take it. Well, that's Campbellsville Bethel.
Freed and Georgetown.
Freed is up on Georgetown with 7 to go in the third by 2. And I guess the others are Central Time.
Yeah, you've got, I know the Thomas More Lindsay game actually got pushed back. Lindsay with playoff football,
right.
So that Thomas
That's a
More
late game.
Lindsay game is like, I think the women's game I saw 6:30, something in that range.
And that may be 6 Central.
Centrals too, yeah. So we probably won't update those scores there before we get off the air here today. Lady Tigers in action tonight or today, and then they're back at it. It was not a regularly scheduled conference game, so 6:30 is what it shows on the website. That may be, as Benji mentioned, Central Time?
No, it's Eastern.
It's an Eastern
it
time
Eastern
start.
So
okay.
5:30 Central.
Okay, so, but the Lady Tigers will take on Lindsay on Tuesday night. They had to move their schedule around that trip to Hawaii. I know, trip to Hawaii. They had to move their schedule around. Those games are scheduled. The guys are still playing those on the 16th, which is the day they had already booked to leave. The 18th, obviously, they have a game in Hawaii, so they're not going to be around to play Cumberland University and Lindsey Wilson. So they moved those games up. They've got Lindsey Wilson on the 7th here at the Powell Center, and then we will make the trip. I'll make the trip with the Lady Tigers on the 11th. Down to Cumberland University, so their schedule gets a little off kilter here over the next week or so.
Well, I was talking to Coach Miranda Denny-Hootie before the game, and she said, "Oh my gosh, these next 2 weeks they're crazy." And I was like, "Yeah, they are." But you know, think about it this way: you go take care of business against Lindsay, against Cumberland, and then you know you enjoy your trip to Hawaii. Now, the problem was what created all this is that trip to Hawaii is actually delayed a year because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So having to rework those schedules, because once again the conference is the one that makes the schedule now, not Campbellsville. So thankfully those coaches were able to adjust as well and allow us to get those games in you know, here early. As you said, Tuesday, and then you'll go down I guess what on the
Saturday the 11th,
a week from today.
So for Campbellsville, they'll get all those in first semester, which I think is the key.
It is.
Lady Tiger ball to start, starting 5 out there for Campbellsville, and Coach Nelson counters with his starting 5 as well. Left to right for the Lady Tigers in the second half, right to left if you're following along on 104.7 the score here on 88.7 the Tiger. McGeorge spinning in the paint, shot blocked by Head. McGeorge stays with it, looking for some help. Lexi Lake flashes, she has it. Now Pettigo. Right side, Pritchett holds it off the wing. Straight away, Lexi Lake. Left side, it's Pedigo. 6 to shoot. Entry, Pritchett goes up. Shot may have been blocked by Henniger, and she grabs the rebound. Comes ahead to Bryant. And it will be Howard, far side of the floor. Bryant again. They bounce back to Howard. Bryant splits a couple of defenders into the corner. Shot for Henniger on the way. That is short, and the rebound batted out by Head. And here Henniger misses the shot inside. I thought she was going to have a surefire bucket there.
Wow, we were fortunate there. 2 good looks by Bethel, and they missed both of them.
And Campbellsville will get into a set here. Bouncing it to Faith Lake. They want McGeorge. It's not there. Now Pritchett has it. Faces up with Henniger. Driving, kicking, Pedigo, triple, no good. Rebound taken by McGeorge. That is a job. I thought they might call that for a second on McGeorge, and I would have had to maybe turn my mic off.
Yeah,
but they get Mickey Head.
But good job by Ashley McGeorge. You know, Mickey Head is a first-team all-conference. She does it on the offense and defense end.
Campbellsville misses here the reverse layup. Pedigo led Lexi Lake, just a little too much on that effort. And here Pedigo out. So Monroe took an extra step there to slow down.
The defensive pressure there by Bailey Pedigo, reaching in, getting her hand in there, caused Morrow to pick it up and take an extra step. So turnover, Bethel, advantage Campbellsville.
Pedigo the basketball for CU. Right wing, Faith Lake holds it. Now McGeorge, left side, it's Pedigo. They still run here. In their offensive set, Lexi Lake comes through. Pedigo to the middle. Left side of the lane on the drive. Pedigo up off glass. She beats Moreau.
It's one of those things, Matt, that the defense just kept sagging off of her, so she kept penetrating a little further deeper to the basket, and she's like, all right, if you're going to give it to me, I'll take it.
Here is Head driving, kicks it out. This is Bryant for 3. Around and out, no good. Pedigo knocked it away from Moreau. To the other end, the Lady Tigers come. Pedigo right side, Faith Lake will drive, bounces. McGeorge couldn't quite handle it cleanly. And Henniger to the front court. Howard off the wing right side, still on the dribble, backs away. Nice cut here by Head. Howard leads her into the corner. Moreau again, open 3, she knocks it down.
Yeah, she's too good of a player. It's her 4th three-pointer here this evening, 14 points. She's leading Bethel 4-5 from downtown.
And she stopped at Lipscomb for a year. She must have liked that bowling green purple awfully well.
I guess so.
She made her way to Bethel. May have been at Lipscomb 2 years. I don't know. She's listed as a junior. Here is Pritchett backing away. Now the entry. Quick move by McGeorge off glass. Good. Ashley McGeorge gets the finish. Courtney Pritchett, 5.
What a nice bounce pass by Courtney Pritchett. She had the jump shot, but did a little pump fake. Reach around, bounce pass into an easy layup for McGeorge.
49-37. Lady Tigers by a dozen. Millie Bryant able to knife her way through some traffic, and she gets a lay-in at the rim.
This Bethel team, they're not going to go away, Matt. They're going to put up a fight. Receiving votes in the latest poll. They're pretty good.
Had to go, thought about a pull-up. Instead bounces it back out to Lake. They'll go left side. This is Faith now. Pritchett working off the screen from McGeorge. Nice closeout by Bethel. Pedigo with an open lane briefly, and then Head flashes over, and we're going to have a turnover on Campbellsville as they say Pedigo stepped on the inline. Lauren Lee going to enter for CU. 49-39 the count. Lady Tigers lead by double figures here, 10 points. Bethel would love to trim that down to single digits here with a bucket. Really used Mickey Head a lot there to help break some of the full court pressure of the Lady Tigers.
She's just an all-around player. She could play down low, shoot the 3, but she can handle the ball as well.
Bryant inside throws one up over the top of Pritchett. Nice job. I think Bryant got caught in between. She thought Pritchett was going to stay with her initially. She flashed towards Moreau just a bit, maybe threw that off. Lee holds it for Campbellsville. On the dribble, I should say. She'll go left side to Faith Lake. Entry, McGeorge working across the lane. Off glass, good, it sticks for Ashley McGeorge.
I tell you what, we saw this at the end of last year, the confidence from Ashley McGeorge down there in the paint, and it's carried over here to her senior season.
Head with it for Bethel. Now it is Moreau driving. Offensive foul. Keely Moreau, the youngster Lauren Lee, gets in there to take the contact.
What about help defense there by Lauren Lee to step over across the paint, get her feet set, take the charge. That is textbook help defense right there by Lauren Lee.
Calvert in for Campbellsville. Caitlin Wilkes back in for the Lady Tigers as well. 51-39. Lady Tigers by a dozen. Largest lead was 17 for CU in the first half. 5:15 to play in the third quarter. Lee to Lexi Lake. Back to Lauren Lee, and that goes to the superintendent of the Campbellsville Independent School Systems, Kirby Smith. He's sitting beside a lady that, well,
she knew how to play this game.
Here. His wife, Andrea Deaton Smith. Andrea Deaton, the all-time leading scorer for Campbellsville. Inside, Calvert knocks it away. I thought Wilkes was going to grab it, but it went right through the hands, or maybe Wilkes didn't even get the hands up off the deflection. They've been a little too late reacting.
Shyla Calvert has probably got the fastest hands next to Savannah Gregory. Savannah taught her well, but it's good to have Shyla back playing some good solid minutes here this season for the Lady Tiger team.
We will step away here as this brings us to a media stoppage. 51-39 the score. Lady Tigers on top. 4:57 to play third quarter. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
I love you.
(51-39) Lady Tigers lead Bethel here in a Mid-South Conference matchup. Campbellsville looking for its 8th win of the season, averaging nearly 86 points per ball game, and they're on a pretty good pace for that. Benji Kelly, thanks to that fast start there in the first half where they totaled 45 points. Lady Tigers doing it a little bit of everybody getting involved.
They are. They cooled off just a little bit here in the second half, but you know, we still got 15 minutes of basketball, still shooting the ball extremely well, 56%. And 63%, so cooled off just a little bit, but a couple of Lexi Lake, Sarah Sutton three-pointers, and we'll be.
Here's Moreau off the inbounds play from Bryant. She's going to draw the foul. This will go against Lauren Lee. That's the first on Lee, and I believe Moreau will go to the free throw line. First on the Lady Tigers in the period. Bethel won their first game in conference play. They knocked off Lindsey Wilson down at Crisp Arena, and then dropped one to Cumberland U. 82-79, a hard-fought loss there for the Wildcats as Moreau hits the first free throw and then fell at Georgetown on Thursday night. As Moreau gets both. 51-41 the score. Lee to the front court with the basketball for Campbellsville. Hands it off to Lexi Lake. Lake on around there off a few screens. Lee backs away. Wilkes holds it. Pritchett flashes out top. Dribble handoff Lee. Little ball fake. Now she'll take the mid-range jumper. That is no good. And Calvert races it down. Back out to Lexi Lake. Campbellsville an offensive rebound. A chance for some second chance points. Lee motioning the offense. Goes back off the Wilkes screen. Now Pritchett wants to drive against Hume. She's going to spin. 3 to shoot. Throws one up. She's going to draw the foul.
Just her court presence and awareness. Courtney Pritchett, special player, and it's good to have her back. I know she battled an injury there, a couple games. Probably could have played that Bright Stratton game, but good call by Coach Colvin to keep her out and allow that ankle to heal a couple more days.
Pritchett misses the free throw. She was, if you're listening, a Bethel fan tuning in, Pritchett was Class A Miss Basketball in the state of Tennessee back in 17-18. season there. 1,500 points at Pickett County High School as she hits the second free throw. Yeah, the thing with Pritchett there, the Lady Tigers could not win a national championship on Monday against Bryant Stratton, but you throw her out there just a little too early, take a chance. You might
really
lose one. And well, it was definitely the smart play.
You know, smart play, and Courtney wanted to play.
She wanted to play against Cumberland.
She did. That's just.
She did everything she could.
Shows you how gritty of a player she is.
Campbellsville, nearly a turnover. Lee broke it up, tried to save it in play. Howard with it, and we've got an issue here with the shot clock. I don't think there was. Oh, they're going to go full reset. Are they saying Lee had possession?
I guess
I'm not saying it's wrong,
no.
But it's an interesting interpretation.
I guess they. Okay.
I mean, she was kind of falling out of play and threw it back in bounds, right? Or did somebody else have it longer than that for Campbellsville? I don't think so.
I guess that one arm, I guess how strong of a pass that was.
Maybe
they were saying
head spinning, lost the handle on it. It gets kind of kicked there, and Hume going to get a bucket and one opportunity for Hume as Lee was down inside. And talk about turning trash into treasure, Benji. They kicked that head, kind of lost the handle, and it went between some legs, and Hume picked it up, gets a bucket, and draws the foul.
Well, and Lauren probably knows better than that to reach over like that. They're going to call that every time. Just go ahead and let them. Go ahead and let them take the two-pointer. Now it's turned into 3, and they've cut this thing to 8.
52-44 the score. Campbellsville leads by 8. Calvert bounces to Sutton. Right side, Lee. Lee looking for some help. Sutton with it again. Calvert hands it off. Lauren Lee off the Sutton screen. Working left side. Stops. Needs some help. It's Sutton. Can't shoot it. One dribble. Elbow. Jay. Good for South Sutton.
That confidence has come back for this game, Matt. So now we'll build on it. But Sarah Sutton playing some solid minutes here. Already her 12 points of the afternoon.
Here is Howard ahead. Slows down now, accelerates again. Wilkes going to be called for the reach in.
I don't think Caitlin realized that she could have just stayed there. Her presence would have been enough to disrupt that, but she gets her hands in there and reaches, and as a result, Bethel's going to the free throw line to shoot too.
54-44, Campbellsville by 10 as Howard toes the nail. 70% on the season is the youngster. Free throw here is good. One more coming her way and gets both. Back to an 8-point margin. That foul on Wilkes, was her first. Lee hands it off to Lake. Lake with a nice crossover there. Here is Sutton, open 3 on the way. No good. And the rebound knocked out of bounds. Head last touched it.
Good job by Ashley McGeorge getting up there and just kind of disrupting enough, and it allowed Head to knock it out of bounds. So advantage Campbellsville here for a second chance point.
Lee throws it in here to Sutton. Back out to Lee. She's open. Won't shoot it. Now Will. 3 on the way. Bang! Lauren Lee says, leave me up. And I'll knock down Edward Jones.
I tell you what, you'll see some teams sag off on the point guard when they're not used to hitting like that. But this girl, she can shoot.
Head will slow down as both Faith and Lexi chase her. Bryant with a nice crossover, frees herself up, and the jumper over the top of McGeorge, no good. Unkind bounce. Lee will race. Left side, Faith off glass. It won't go. Ball batted out. That's a nice look by Lauren Lee, and Faith Lake hits that in her sleep. Bryant to Head, can't shoot as Faith Lake closes out quickly. Now Mickey Head on the drive, skips it right side. Howard to dribble. Down the lane, left-handed scoop shot, no good for Howard. Couple of tough misses here for Bethel last couple trips.
And here we go.
3 for Lexi Lake is no good. Her first miss of the day from deep, I do believe. 57-46, Campbellsville by 11. Closing in on 90 seconds left in this third quarter, and Millie Bryant hits a 3-point field goal for Bethel.
Man.
57-49.
We've seen some good basketball this weekend, haven't we, Matt?
Really good basketball
teams. Hardman games, both games, and then this one is building to another one as well.
McGeorge out top, left side. Now Lee holds it, waits for some movement. Lexi Lake bounces. Faith Lake entry. McGeorge splits defenders, goes up, she's fouled. Nice strong move by Ashley McGeorge. This will go against Hume. That's her third. 4 on Bethel with 1:08 to play in the period. McGeorge on the season, 78.8% at the stripe. McGeorge, a few dribbles, shot on the way. That is good for Ashley McGeorge. Her dad's on the far side. His lips are moving. He's quite the prestidigitator.
He is that. Way to get that word in there, Matt. But I talked to him a little bit before the game, and he had to tell me a story. He's always telling stories. And they're good ones.
They are typically pretty good. McGeorge hits both free throws. Campbellsville back up by 10, just under a minute to play in the third quarter. Moreau holds it left side, back to Bryant straight away. Moreau again, little ball fake, now passes it down inside, and McGeorge going to be nabbed for the foul here. They say she comes over the top. That's 3 on Ashley McGeorge, 4 on the Lady Tigers, and Bethel will have a baseline out of bounds opportunity here underneath their own goal. 51.2 seconds on the clock here as McGeorge exits. Howard lobs it in here to Bryant, who's spinning in the paint. That's a nice move by Millie Bryant. Often you spin the opposite way. She kind of spun underneath instead of outside and found herself open. (59-51). Left side, Sutton. Nice job by Henniger to close out. Straight away, Lee. And nearly a turnover. Lake was going to cut. Lee threw it to her at the last second. Here, an entry pass to Pritchett, working back to the basket, all the way inside. Shot knocked out of bounds by Bethel as Henniger got a piece of that.
Good defense there by Bethel. And I think Courtney got just a little bit too far underneath the basket. But a chance here.
Lee pitches it in. Pritchett again goes up. This one will crawl over the rim and go through for Swift.
She muscled that one up there, and there probably was a little contact, but just shows you how strong she is.
Moreau open for 3, and she hits it. And that's where the third quarter is going to come to a close. A 7-point game. Keely Moreau brought her backpack out onto the floor tonight. She's got this Bethel team in it, and she continues to deliver. What a performance by Moreau. What a performance by Bethel, as Campbellsville holds a 7-point advantage as we head to the fourth quarter. 61-54 the score. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
Myth. If you get COVID-19, you'll recover after a few days. That myth is false. We're only just beginning to understand the effects of COVID-19 on the human body, as we're starting to see more and more people identifying as long haulers who are having symptoms for weeks, if not months, after their initial infection. Continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands. Together, we can keep COVID out of school.
For ways to keep your community safe, go to backtoschooltogether.com.
Four Lady Tigers in double figures here this afternoon, led by Lexi Lake and Sarah Sutton with a dozen each. Ashley McGeorge and Courtney Pritchett, 10 apiece for Campbellsville. And for Bethel, Keely Moreau, 19 points. They've gotten 14 from Millie Bryant, 13 from Ashton Hume. This appears to be a heavyweight bout. We saw one on Thursday night with the Lady Tigers and Freed Hardeman. And we talk about this Mid-South Conference. You've got Freed, a team that in a lot of other leagues would be ranked. The same with Bethel. They're in that receiving votes category. Man, what a tough league.
Well, it is, Matt, top to bottom. I mean, on any given night, any team can beat anyone, and you've got to bring your A game each and every time. And we've seen two dandy ones here, this Lady Tiger team against Freed Hardman, and now here against Bethel University. Bethel actually won that quarter 20-16. So Campbellsville got their hands full here with 10 minutes to go.
Bethel basketball. Howard crosses the stripe at midcourt as this fourth quarter is underway. Moreau Back to Howard on the wing. Head at the elbow, wants to drive, goes up against Pritchett. Shot no good, and we're going to have a foul.
That was a great block out by Sarah Sutton.
Sutton has done a lot right here today. It's been a struggle here over the first few weeks, but she has played some tremendous basketball this afternoon. Campbellsville in a position to win, thanks in large part to her. Foul on Hume is her fourth. First on Bethel in the period. Left side, Faith Lake holds it. Bounces to Pritchett. Back out, she leaves it with Lee, won't shoot it. She'll drive against Moreau, who blocks the shot. Ball is free, being battled for. Will go to the arrow as Lauren Lee is tied up by Bryant and maybe Moreau as well.
Shot clock, 13 seconds left. It does not reset. I don't know if I like that rule or not, but anyhow, I'm not.
Well, it does on a kick ball. I'm just not sure that. I hate that kick ball rule. Here is Lee, out to Sutton. Lexi Lake Lee again, right side, backs away as Head picks her up. Pritchett, little shot fake, now on the drive, working against Moreau. Out, Sutton, jumper on the way, no good with 2 on the shot clock. Moreau clears the rebound.
Sorry, good look by Campbellsville.
61-54, Bryant the other end, holds it. Now wants to drive, and here Pritchett will kick it with 20 on the shot clock.
That's the only time that it doesn't reset.
That's the only time it makes sense. 8:57 to play. Well, I just hate, you play here, his Head gets the lob over the top. You play a possession out, Head throws up a shot that's no good. You play a possession out, get down to 4 or 5 seconds, kick a ball, and then it gets reset. How did the offense deserve that? But anyway, here's Lauren Lee. Still a 7-point game. Right side, Sutton looking. Out top, Lexi Lake, left side, it's Lee. She waits. Faith Lake on around. Lexi Lake wants to drive. Back. Pritchett working against Head. 3 to shoot. Going to have to let it go. Sutton will. It's blocked. And they will sound the whistle as I believe Henniger got out. No choice for Sutton. She had to throw it up.
Well, she knew that the shot clock was running down, so she put an extra added pressure on Sarah Sutton. Got a hand on it, and shot fell short. So shot clock violation. Bethel basketball.
Left side, Bryant with it. Working inside. Stops now, looks for some help. This is Moreau. She has been terrific here this afternoon. Pitches one out to Howard. Howard wants to drive against Faith Lake. 7 to shoot. Nikki Head will drive. And gets her first points of the day, I believe, this Nikki Head. She may have went to the free throw line earlier. No, that's it. First points of the day for Head.
Who would have ever thought that?
61-56 the score. Campbellsville leads by 5. Closest we've been in a while. Pritchett left side. The ball fake. Comes across the paint. Spins. Goes up. She's contacted. No call. And Howard going to come to the other end for Bethel. Howard, right side, goes up. Shot too much on it. Too strong for the youngster. Had a nice look. Lee on the dribble. Back out. Sutton, 3. Sarah Sutton had a game!
That is huge right there. And you saw that kind of going to happen. Lee looked at Sutton and said, eye contact, spot up, and she did, and she found her.
Out top, Howard for the answer. Good. Wow. Man, what a shot by Howard. Had an opportunity a moment ago on a
what a game.
Drive to the lane and missed it. Hits the 3 here. And we're going to get a timeout by head coach Ginger High Colvin. 6:46 to play in the basketball game. Campbellsville leads by 5. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. (64-59) the count. Campbellsville leads by 5 in the Powell Athletic Center at Donna Wise Court here today, officially for the first time, as the longtime head coach of the Lady Tigers honored today. The name officially revealed, unveiled, however you want to say it. And from this day forward, December 4th, 2021, it will be Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center. 32 seasons, 661 wins, averaging over 20 wins a year. That's hard to do, Benji Kelly. And you think
that long
back
of a time, you're exactly
back
right.
To the mid-70s, early 80s, they didn't play that many games. Nowadays, if you make a deep run, you can get 37, 38 games in. Back then, you didn't quite get that many. What a job.
Yeah, you know, back 70s, 80s, you're lucky to get 20, 25 games in, but just because there wasn't that many programs, travel not restrictions, but just you'd have to go a long, long ways to play someone. So, but tremendous legacy by Coach Wise, and it's a fitting honor that we can dedicate this court in her name.
Campbellsville back to work on the offensive end. Calvert in for CU. Left side, Sutton again. 3 short, and the rebound will be taken by Faith Lake, who's falling down, shovels it to Sutton. Lee wants to drive. Inside, ball deflected. Sutton going to run it down. She needs some help here, and Lee will come to offer the help. Lee gets even. Kicks it. Left side, Faith Lake 3 was blocked. Wilkes grabs it, goes up, good for Caitlin Wilkes.
Way to be in the right place at the right time, Caitlin Wilkes.
66-59. Every bucket feels big at this stage. Closing in on the 6-minute mark.
That's actually Caitlin Wilkes' first basket of the game.
Moreau right side to Bryant. Little ball fake. Bryant splits 2 defenders. Drives in, kicks it down to Henniger. Goes up with a shot that is good for Madison Henniger. Nice effort there by Millie Bryant to set that up. 5-point game. Lee works right side. Moreau defends. They want Wilkes. Back out to Faith Lake. Now Lee. Can she get it to Wilkes? Head defending Wilkes. Campbellsville's not been able to get her in the low block here. Faith Lake is ridden to the ground here by Bryant, I believe.
I misspoke there. That's actually Caitlin Wilkes' second basket of the game, but it seemed like her first one because the last couple of games she's played, every time she's gotten the ball, she's scored. There was one little post move, I guess, there in the first half that I forgot.
Well, it's the one where we were talking about how quick she went. Here, Lee, inside Lake, shot, good for Faith Lake. She gets the finish. Lauren Lee, the find.
Boy, you're talking about quick hands there. That ball was not even in her hands a half a second. And quick reaction by Faith Lake. Nice little out-of-bounds play by the Lady Tigers.
7-point Campbellsville advantage. Bryant stops now, looking for help. She's got Howard, who's open 3. That is good. It looked like Howard was almost kind of fading to the left a little. I'm impressed that she was able to knock that one down. Nice job by the youngster for Bethel. 68-64, the Wildcats keep coming. Inside, Calvert, a little too strong maybe on the pass. Wilkes couldn't handle it, a turnover. Long ahead, Howard has it blocked by Lee, and it'll be a baseline out of bounds. Chance once again for Bethel. This becomes a media stoppage with 4:45 to play. Campbellsville leads by 4, 68-64. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. Every day he's hungry for something. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. It's okay to make mistakes. As long as it's coming from love, then it kind of starts to work itself out.
(68-64). Campbellsville holding on to the 4-point advantage here as they lead Bethel. Lady Tigers got off to a hot start there in the first half. Here in the second half, though, just 23 points through the first 15 minutes. Here's the replay of the Lauren Lee block if you're following along on our television video streaming coverage today. Lee pitches that one out of bounds. Lady Tigers would love a stop here, come back to the offensive end and get something going. Bailey Pettigo going to re-enter for CU. Courtney Pritchett out there, the Great Lakes, and Caitlin Wilkes, the 5 for CU.
What a ball game here, Matt Payton. 4 points with 4:45 to go. A lot of basketball left, but these two teams are battling it here this afternoon.
Howard to inbound, Moreau, and we've got a 30-second tie. Coach Nelson did not like something that was
well, and it was getting close to the 5-second call too.
He did have Moreau she and Bryant stopped, and then Moreau hesitated and then took off towards that right wing. I don't know.
Nothing was open.
Nothing was open, but I think maybe Moreau was coming open, but sometimes it's hard to wait on that if you're a coach, and each possession critical. You take a chance, a 5-second call. Last thing you want to do is take a timeout with you. So Coach Nelson.
It's a great call, timeout, because as you said, each possession is extremely important here as we're going down the stretch. You don't really need any empty possessions. But good defense there by the Lady Tigers to cause that extra timeout there.
Don't forget the Tigers coming up at the conclusion of this ball game. Scheduled start time 4 o'clock. We're going to be pushing that, so I don't think it's going to happen. Be a little after. Coach Vernon's club looks for another Mid-South Conference victory today. Howard looking, nowhere to go yet. Now it's Bryant. Had that been a good pass, Bryant would have been open for a 3. She'll go into the corner. Moreau is open for 3. That is short. I'm not so sure that Faith Lake may not have got a fingernail on it.
Well, if she didn't, the closeout obviously put pressure on Morrow, so great defense there by Campbellsville.
4.5 to go. Lady Tigers working in the offensive end. Lexi Lake bounces to Pritchett. Just inside the arc. Now right side, it's Pettigo again. Middle of the floor. Left corner, 3, Faith Lake, no good. Rebound taken by Howard. Pritchett, Howard, did she almost stumble there or just trying to protect it?
It was awkward.
Yeah, it was a little awkward here. Howard into the corner, Moreau opposite corner, another opportunity. This one's going to be hard, and the rebound caroms off to Bailey Pettigo. 68-64, Faith Lake with it. Back to Pettigo between the circles, calls out the offense. Left side, Faith Lake, looking for Wilkes. Nikki Head has done a great job today on Wilkes. Here, Swiss driving, 8 seconds, now goes up with a shot, no good. Rebound is pulled away from Bryant. Campbellsville's got to be careful not to get a foul call. They finally do. I think at first they had the tie ball, but Bryant lost the handle. It came free. And this will go against Caitlin Wilkes.
I think Courtney Pritchett was expecting a bump there.
Well, Hume's got 4 fouls.
Yeah.
So Hume was going to let her go. Pritchett could have done whatever she wanted right there once she got even with Hume, and she was going to get a free lay-in. And like you mentioned, she may have expected some contact
and it just
a little too strong.
A little strong off the glass. And
left side, Moreau. Back out top to Howard. Still a 4-point game. Neither team has scored since that media stoppage. Moreau wants Howard, has her. 10 to shoot. 3:10 to play. Bryant deflected. Pritchett has it. It was Lexi Lake to get a hand on it. Pettigo long ahead. Lexi Lake back out to Pettigo. 3 minutes to play. Pritchett. Deck it again, Courtney. Out top. Lake won't shoot it. I was ready for that one.
You
Benji.
were that.
Faith Lake back to Lexi Lake. She'll drive, stops, in some traffic. She's fouled.
Good job, Faith Lake. You know, a lot of times we depend on her to shoot so many threes, but at that point she got the ball, was aggressive, penetrated, and had a chance here to go to the free throw line. Who's that foul on?
That was on Millie Bryant, I believe.
Okay, that's her second. So
2 on Bryant, 3 on Bethel as a team. Lexi Lake at the stripe. First free throws of the season for Lexi, and gets back to that she's that 3-point sharpshooter. She doesn't deck it and drive very often, and here she does, draws the foul.
And that's just a senior leadership right there, and realizing that I've got to get a basket here, and she saw that open for her. However, she got fouled, but she was able to convert both free throws. Just as good as a made jump shot right there.
Free throws good for Lexi Lake. Wilkes will check out. Lauren Lee in. So you've got Pettigo and Pritchett will man that 4-5 spot. Lee will handle the point guard duties. Your 4 and 5 are as good a ball handlers as your 1, though, when you look at that Campbellsville lineup right now.
Well, what about Bailey Pettigo? The versatility to be able to go out and play a 4.
Here is Howard backing away. Lexi Lake nearly a takeaway. Head wants to drive. Bounces one to Hume, and Pettigo steals it away. 2:20 to play. Campbellsville by 6. Pettigo calls for some help. She'll bounce to Faith Lake down to the baseline. Lee out top.
This is a big possession right here, Matt.
Lee working against Bryant. Hesitation, driving, shot, foul. We get a late whistle. This will go against Millie Bryant. How much faith does this Campbellsville team have? And Lauren Lee, when you look over at Ginger High Colvin, basically says, clear out, go to work.
That's it.
And you send the sophomore to the line now.
And the way she's able to absorb contact or create contact and a little separation there, she drew the foul, but she's just, and you don't normally see that in the ladies' game.
Get a friendly roll with the foul.
But confidence in Lauren Lee, she's going to be special before this thing's all said and done.
I tell you this, Ginger High Colvin and Chris Nelson are having way too much fun.
I know, more fun than you and I are having.
That's it. I'm miserable. 71-64. Lee gets 1 of 2. Lady Tigers trying to match up here. They finally get squared away. Well, now they do. Lexi Lake had to run over towards Moreau last second. Hume holds it. They want Head. They've got her. Head spinning, and Pettigo comes in and takes it away once again.
I tell you what.
Bailey Pettigo, you thief you.
She's just an intelligent player. A point guard last year, playing the 4 here right now. That's special.
Left side, Faith Lake holds it, bounces it to Pettigo. Back out Lake again. Off the screen, drives baseline, looking for help. Ball was deflected and knocked out of play. They say last touch, I guess nobody got a piece of it. I thought somebody hit that.
It looked like it was, but that may have been Faith that touched
There wasn't
it
much of a protest from the Lady Tigers.
No.
7-point game, 71-64. Head left side to Moreau. 1:20 to play. Bryant catches it deep out. Head on the drive, working against Pritchett, and Courtney.
Yeah, too much body.
She fought too far over the front.
Yeah, good call.
And this will send Bethel right in front of their own bench to inbound. It'll be Howard to do the honors. Campbellsville's second foul in the period. Howard throws it in here to Bryant. Lexi Lake right there in the hip pocket. Bryant to the middle. Now Howard working against Lee. Moreau defended by Lee in the paint. Out. Howard 7 to shoot. Less than a minute to go. Howard backs away.
Yes, sir. There we go.
Lake got it.
3 great defensive turnovers, or created the turnovers the last 3 possessions for the Lady Tigers. Doing it on the defensive end.
Lauren Lee holds it left side. Coach Nelson going to play this out. He needs a stop for his Bethel club. Pritchett holds 10 seconds. Pritchett. Backdoor to Faith Lake. Timeout. That's actually Lexi Lake. We've got a timeout taken by Ginger High Colvin with 5 on the shot clock.
No, it was a turnover.
Oh, they called a turnover.
Yeah. Travel.
Millie Bryant, a little slow getting up there. She may have rolled an ankle. 30.8. Campbellsville with the 3-possession lead here. Lauren Lee chases Howard. They hand it off. Moreau. Pettigo picks her up. Nice job defensively. Moreau spins. Shot too strong. Pritchett the rebound. Clears the Wildcats away.
Great defense by Bailey Pettigo right there on the switch.
And Coach Nelson's going to let it roll, and he'll take the loss as Campbellsville. And that's just a respect thing.
It is.
He's not going to draw this out.
Heck of a game right there.
71-64, the final score. The Lady Tigers victorious. They pick up win number 8 on the season. They are now a perfect 4-0 in conference play. Bethel falls to 4-4. They are 1-3 in Mid-South Conference action. The final here again, 71-64. Campbellsville victorious. We'll step away, take a short timeout, come back and have a post-game interview here with Ginger High Colvin. You're following the Lady Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.
My mission was to develop a program of national prominence, and we're there and we continue to stay there.
For 32 seasons, Donna Wise roamed the sidelines of the Powell Athletic Center as the head coach of Campbellsville University Lady Tiger basketball. Coach Wise's accolades are innumerable. But among them, she led her Lady Tiger basketball teams to 16 national tournament appearances, including 5 NAIA quarterfinal berths. She boasts 661 career wins over her 32-year career at the helm of the Lady Tiger program. That's good for an average of over 20 wins per season. In 2000, she was named to the NAIA National Basketball Hall of Fame as well as the CU Athletics Hall of Fame in 2008. Perhaps no one knows Coach Donna Wise professionally speaking quite like her former pupil who arrived in 1986 and was groomed by Donna Wise to be her successor, current Lady Tiger head coach Ginger High Colvin.
I think I'm more proud of it than she is, just because I know the work she put into it. We crawl on a charter bus sometimes and roll off to our games. When she coached, we crawled into a van and used athletic tape to tape up the windows. She did a little bit of everything. And she worked extremely hard to give Campbellsville University the name that just was ranked 1. Probably not where we are right now, but she worked hard to establish just the traditional name of Campbellsville University Lady Tigers. And I feel such a burden to keep going with what she started. And I'm just blessed to have ended up here. And I couldn't be prouder of her, and I couldn't be prouder for her family. It was a family affair. It wasn't just Donna Wise. It was George Wise, Donna Wise, Max Wise, and now Heather Wise. And what their family means to me, we are family. And just could not, I could not be. I burst when I think about it.
Today, we honor and say thank you to head coach Donna Wise for all of her contributions to Campbellsville University. But most importantly, we recognize her impact on our campus, in our community, and across the globe through the game of basketball. Congratulations, Donna Wise, and welcome to the new Donna Wise Court at the Powell Athletic Center.
Matt Payton here with the head coach, Ginger High Colvin. You and Chris
Not
Nelson.
only the head coach, we have Henley Price with us today as well.
You going to talk?
Can you say hi? Say hi. No, she's
not going to do it.
Yeah.
The 7-point win, Coach. I look down you and Chris Nelson. You guys just have fun when you're coaching against one another. For us common folk over here, that's a little stressful.
Yeah, he needed that today, and believe me, I think the two most stressed people in this gym were Chris and I, and it's so hard because we've been good friends for a long time, and before you play, you always take a coaching friend and you bounce things back off of one another. And we did that a lot when we weren't in the same league. Now we're in the same league. We still bounce some stuff off one another, but before we play each other, there's not a lot to bounce. It's just a lot of anxious and nerves. And man, they've got a really good team. And they've took a couple hard losses, and he's still got some pieces that he's going to add. And I know he's took those. I know he's failed, but I feel like they're just going to continue to climb as he keeps adding those kids. They play extremely hard, and they're tough. They're a tough match.
You guys went on a run there late first quarter, second quarter, really kind of push your lead up, and that was really probably the difference in the game. It was a bit back and forth outside of that. And how about Sarah Sutton? I know you've been waiting for it and a bit of a breakout here today.
We've been waiting, and she's been waiting. And we actually, when you go back and you play, we always try to go back and obviously watch the team from last year, how they attacked your things. And we made her go back and watch last year's game because she was really good against Bethel last year. And she came in today and she said, because she struggled, and we've talked about this, she struggled with sickness, she struggled with an injury, and her confidence is so bad. And she came in today and she said, we said, well, what do you think after you watched? She says, well, I'm not so horrible. And I think it lifted her up a little bit and gave her a little bit of confidence, and hopefully we can keep building on that because she adds so much and takes some pressure off some of the rest of our kids.
And today you get 5 Lady Tigers in double figures. Right. Sarah led the way with 15. You really spread the wealth. Lexi had a tremendous first half shooting for you guys. You get 10 apiece from Faith, Ashley McGeorge, and Courtney Pritchett. But Faith and Bailey Pettigo, they were making game-winning plays down the stretch on the defensive end.
They were, and Bailey didn't have her best offensive game. I jumped on her at halftime. I feel like she turned it over and did some things that aren't typical for Bailey. And like I say, I got on her, and it doesn't matter. She didn't hang her head. She didn't sulk. She came out and, like you said, made game-winning plays defensively.
this Bethel bunch, one you'll see later on in the year, they'll change. You prepare today. This is a team in Bethel that has two players that can really hurt you in Millie Bryant and Mickey Head.
Yes.
And I say that, two players. They have more than that. Keely Moreau was that today, right?
Keely Morrow's come in, and she was really a spark for them today.
Yeah, but Head and Bryant, the two guys or gals in this case that were Mid-South Conference, they're the ones that and preparing. Moreau gives them a different element. Kaylin Howard, a freshman that Coach Nelson's got, they really present some issues for you. And again, it really boiled down to your first half shooting 60%, but you held them to 38% shooting here today, forced 11 turnovers. So defensively, you were able to get some things done.
Yeah, it was great to see Lexi come out and get so hot the first half, and then when Sarah came in, and then a great atmosphere today also because of the dedication of the Florida Coach Wise. And they shoot the ball well, and when Bethel when they shoot the ball well, they're a very hard team to beat. And to go back down, when we go back down to play them, he's going to have a couple more pieces to add to that. And so this game is a very important game because I feel at the end of this conference season, this is going to be a huge win for us because of that factor. I think there are going to be a lot of teams.
We won't look too far ahead. I know you've got Lindsay on Tuesday. I'll give you a break there. We won't talk about the Blue Raiders, but quickly, now that it's kind of in the books, you had reception this morning for Coach Wise, the unveiling there at the court, and different things here is now Donna Wise Court. Today's kind of an emotional day, a very important day, but emotional, can be draining and taxing, but certainly one that you'll forever remember.
Yeah, it was so great to see, and I didn't think I would get emotional today. I've had my moments, but I've known about it. I've seen the floor, so I didn't think today I would get emotional, but I did. I think seeing she and George and Max and Heather out there in the presentation, and then all these former players that are coming back, and that really started tugging at my heart when I started seeing all these kids that I've watched grow up into women, and they bringing their kids in here, and that was emotional for me. And seeing some of their parents that have taken their day out to come and watch, I'm very happy. And there was a little bit of pressure to win on that. Not just pressure to win, but you sure didn't want to come out and look bad, that's for sure.
Well, you guys didn't. You held serve here at home. That's always important in the Mid-South Conference. No gimmies, 71-64 the final. I'll let you go visit with some of those past friends and family and Lady Tigers and all that good stuff. Congratulations, Coach. Matt. Lady Tigers winners here this afternoon as they knock off Bethel. Final score 71-64. As we conclude our women's coverage, we'll take a quick run through the stats here as we get set for men's action in just a bit. But quickly, the numbers that made up this contest. Campbellsville, as I mentioned, gets 15 from Sarah Sutton in the basketball game. That's a work hazard, Zach Curry. He's on headset. He just got whacked with the basketball. He'll give me a smile behind the camera. He's okay. He's tough. He's an athlete here at Campbellsville University. 15 for Sarah Sutton, as I mentioned. She knocked down 3 Edward Jones threes. They got 14 from Lexi Lake. 4 made Edward Jones threes for the sharpshooter from Harrodsburg. They get 10 apiece from Faith Lake, Ashley McGeorge and Courtney Pritchett. McGeorge with a team-high 6 rebounds in the basketball game here today. Lady Tigers get 6 off the bench from Lauren Lee. A lot of crooked numbers for her. 4 rebounds, 5 assists for Lee. 4 points for Caitlin Wilkes in the ball game today. 2 from Bailey Pettigo. She had 4 assists, 2 steals. Did Pettigo, those 2 steals coming late, helped seal and win for Campbellsville University. Keely Moreau led the way for Bethel. Then she had 19 points for the Wildcats. They got 14 from Millie Bryant, 12 from Kaylin Howard, all of those young ladies in the starting lineup, 13 off the bench for Ashton Hume, 2 from Mickey Head, 4 from Madison Henniger in the ball game today for Bethel, and that rounds out the scoring for them. Lady Tigers shoot at 48% overall. They were 47% from deep, hitting 9 Edward Jones threes. They were 72% at the line. 38% from Bethel today from the field, 42% from long range. They hit 12 three-point field goals, 90% at the free throw line for the Wildcats. Campbellsville wins the battle in rebounding 33-25. They had 8 offensive rebounds to 7 for Bethel. 20 assists, 12 turnovers, 6 steals for Campbellsville. 14 assists, 11 turnovers, 5 steals for Bethel. Enhanced scoring numbers quickly. Campbellsville points in the paint, 26-18 the advantage. 12-11 off turnovers in favor of Bethel. Second chance points, 8-7 in favor of Bethel. And bench points, 25-13 in favor of Campbellsville. 2 times we were tied in the game. The score changed hands. The lead changed hands once in today's ball game. Largest lead for Bethel, 5 for Campbellsville, 17. That concludes our women's coverage. We will step away, take a timeout, come back, and have our men's pregame here in just a bit. You're following the Tigers on the Campbellsville University Sports Network.